recording right now. Sweet.
Nice.
All right.
So I tried this Pink Whitney. What do you guys like it? You tried some?
Pink Whitney is very tasty.
It's pink lemonade vodka.
No thanks.
I haven't tried
It's kind of like Whitney Brown, but not.
Yeah, we're trying this. So me and Carlton earlier on break, we're trying this with the Zoom. It's like it might have a timer on it, but like if it the second you exit the meeting, it does an auto save and it records it to an MP3 file. So if it cuts out, we can just hit the new meeting and just redo it. So there's something different.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, exactly. We're testing it out. We'll see how it goes. Get this working.
Yeah, but like, because with Carlton, if it works with him, then we could have like anybody you know or family. I want to get Matt because Matt's up on the res, or like anybody out of state could be a friend of Al's, Elliot's, or you don't want to
You
see
don't want my friends on this. Trust me.
Why not?
Hey, the more crazy characters, the better.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Is it Junior's Rogaine night?
So
It might be.
I don't know.
What about Mexicans?
I said I have 3 nieces and nephews that are half Mexican, so that could be fun.
They'll bring the whole family with them.
They will.
Okay.
I wish we could get Mark on this show, though. Oh my goodness!
I'm tempted. I just don't want
You
to.
will scare people.
First, Chris will have to build a wheelchair ramp. You have to have
It sucks that they took the one down that was there for your grandfather.
Yeah.
That would be
You have
perfect.
to have the gate, or maybe an elevator lift. Those ones that slides up the side of the chairs. Stairs.
So I know the Zoom doesn't have a timer, so I'm going to keep so we started at 8:56. So it's just because I'm curious, I don't think Zoom keeps track of how long we've been going for. Or is recording.
I'm looking too. Yeah, I don't see anything yet, but
What's the name of those things that you actually attach to the railing and they slide up the stairs? You sit on them. What are they called?
Not hover around.
the hover chairs.
Yeah.
Hover chair, whatever it's called.
Yeah, those chairs are they. Yeah.
I mean, that would work.
Ever since I seen the commercial for them, I was like, I want one. I don't need it, but the thought of sitting my fat ass down and floating up the stairs, oh man!
Until the gremlins get you.
The wife keeps saying that, when we get too old, we're just gonna have to take it downstairs to the bedroom. Like, you out of your damn mind. I'll build an elevator or something. I'm not giving up my room.
That's so scary.
I'll just instead I'll remove the deck and make just an exterior elevator just down. There we go.
Oh yeah. It actually sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Since you guys last been here, we repaved our driveway, so now that's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's all just paved. We got rid of all those stones, and it's just nice and smooth all the way over. It's beautiful. Nice. I got to take pictures because now with the share screen stuff, I can just share pictures and stuff. I can just share a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, you got to give me access to share as well, Chris.
Oh,
if I needed to share stuff.
I'd probably do it right now. So we'll share. I got multiple.
Yeah. That's something we can figure out.
We're still recording, so.
Yeah, we're still recording.
But you have any news? I've got 300 news articles for.
Hey, let's go through your news articles. Like I said, this is impromptu for me.
Considering the fact that we haven't done the freaking podcast in over a week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Well, did you watch Joker yet?
I have not watched Joker yet.
Because I got to get you to watch.
Well, you and Ellie can, make a date night and watch it.
Yeah.
Hey, now that we know Longhorn is no longer grade A meat, I stand a chance.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to try some grade E meat,
it's only Joker. It's not as good as the D, but it's on the alphabet list.
It's A grade.
It still makes the grade list.
Hey, Junior's grade R for Rogaine.
I still have some standards, so no.
They wrote at time. They always do.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Chrissy Rhodes, many of standards from what I've heard.
Yeah.
I have long since abandoned the concept of standards.
So go through your the stories you have, like this is impromptu for me. So now that I know we can do this, I can start collecting stories and everything myself. And now I can start working on my
I'm just gonna because like I don't
Mark's
like,
story as
I
well.
want to go from like happy to sad, miserable to fun to this. I'm just pulling up random shit because I there's no list of this. I just pull up random things. So, well, because like I listened to last week catching up like in like 20 Kevin Smith podcast, and his friend Mark was talking about Tyler Perry. Like apparently Tyler Perry just hit the billionaire status.
Nice.
Like,
Oh, really?
even Kevin's just like, Kevin said this even like a year ago. He goes, when his friend Ralph were cracking Tyler Perry, Kevin's like, hey, good for him, man. He goes, whether you like his films or not, he knows his audience knows what he likes. And Tyler Perry and Kevin's like, to the man's credit, he writes everything himself. He does everything himself. He produces. That's all his work. So it's like,
Not to mention he came from being homeless to now being a billionaire.
No, that's good. For some reason, it seems nowadays it's so easy for people to become billionaires if you have the right plan or idea. It's like billionaires are popping up left and right. It seems
you have the right path in mind to make it happen.
Or you just get extremely lucky, too.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping to get lucky.
But a person like that, you figure if you can make a product like that with the whole Medea thing, it's like, again, love or hate him. It's like he knows the audience, and every time he makes a Medea film, he's smart. He films them for like dirt cheap. It's like there's no big production value. He's not taking anyone else's money. It's his own money, and that's what it is. And
it helps too that he does most of the characters too in the Medea.
I never seen it. I know he did the obviously Medea herself.
Yeah, you're screwing black.
But
he does Medea. He does.
My screen is black. Well, I'm not sharing.
Oh, okay. Well, no, just in general.
Oh yeah, because I shrunk my Zoom so I can just look through things as well. So my screen is black. I'm just looking up stuff myself.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm just saying those couple things, a couple weeks back, but even from Business Insider says there are 614 billionaires in the U.S.
Jesus. We'll see how many remain. If they want to exit America. So.
Someone like Tyler Perry, I don't like feel any kind of animosity because at least that's somebody who definitely worked his way up. It just wasn't given to him, and he's just not sitting home like. Yeah, besides even before the Medea stuff, he's written a shit ton of plays and Broadway and a lot of people like him for his Medea stuff. I've actually felt like I talked to Al about this, like his more serious shit, like Why Did I Get Married, and his other what other films he did. His more serious movies he wrote. I actually
he did one. I think it's called Family Values.
Maybe
or something.
So, but yeah, so Tyler Perry. Yeah, so Tom Cruise is not stopping anytime soon, and he's making more Mission Impossibles. Apparently, because of COVID right now, for Mission Impossible 7, he rented a cruise, like not a boat, an entire cruise for the entire staff of the Mission Impossible 7, and he has everybody basically all secluded, so that way they're they're COVID in sense quarantined, but the entire film set is right now floating around with Tom Cruise on his own personal cruise that he just rented. Like he's paying a monthly rental on this shit. So
Jesus,
he rented a cruise for 50, 60 people and shit. They're all just like hanging out, filming Mission Impossible 7. Like he's got the money for it.
I wonder how much it is to rent a cruise ship.
I was just thinking.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
What does that even cost?
I mean, it depends on the suite alone. Like if you go buy the suite for that many people, you're looking like $5,000 a person. Oh God, Here we go.
Filming a new movie during the pandemic may seem like Mission Impossible, but Tom Cruise isn't letting that get in the way of the next installment of the blockbuster. The cost of this new production expense is reportedly $591,000 per month.
Jesus, so $500,000 a month.
To his credit, he's paying for it himself, and he's has the entire crew. It's on his dime. So,
wow, that's crazy. So, I mean, per month, how many months can he hold that up?
Says we're Cruise. Let's say production of the film began in London in July, following a 5-month hiatus due to coronavirus. Cruise reportedly rented the ships not only to prevent further delay of filming, but to reduce the risk of spreading the virus. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's still coming out next year, November 2021, Mission Impossible 7. So
escape from COVID.
Yeah, really. Well, it's like, I always like seeing people doing nice shit. Like even this morning when my phone popped up, I seen nothing about Johnny Depp. And this is always like whenever these things happened years back, like Keanu, but you never hear about them. But like, Depp reportedly, when he was making the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean, apparently he went out and the crew, I guess, because like a lot of people don't get the crew that work on these films usually don't get paid a lot of money by any means, and most of the production teams don't take care of them and shit. So what Depp did was for Pirates of the Caribbean 4, I think he made like 50 or 60 million off that, but like apparently he took the entire crew, he spent like 60 grand of his own money, and he bought everyone on the crew like some kind of rain jackets and just kept everybody safe and warm, and like went out and just said, hey guys, it's on me. Just bought everybody like, some kind of like burgers and shit. Like,
I'd work harder for something like that.
I was like, good on Johnny though. It's like, it's whenever you see, I just like seeing people do shit they don't have to do. And like, and Parts of the Caribbean 4 came out like what, 7-8 years ago or something. And I just hearing about it now.
That reminds me, I gotta find it. I think there was this one janitor who ran into Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves helped him open up his own restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, let me find out real quick.
I love Keanu Reeves.
Yep. Johnny Depp spent 60 grand to protect crew filming during Parts of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. So it's like this back in 2011. Said he purchased waterproof jackets for 500 cast and crew members so they would all be protected from the horrifically wet conditions. It said the actor bought jackets out of his own pocket. So,
they did as great a job as they could from that.
I mean, it wasn't my favorite one, but just back in 10 years ago almost, and no one talked about it and just popped up now. But like, there's said so many people out there, they have like Keanu Reeves, they're constantly doing shit for people on the low, and just they don't constantly. And it's a Depp just opened his Instagram account like a couple months ago for the first time. He's been always a very just like Keanu, very low key, quiet dude, doesn't flaunt what he has, doesn't talk about it, and like he just 60 grand for just 500 people, just like cool. And that's why I said whenever Kevin does that, I hear Kevin when like he films an episode of The Flash, Supergirl, something, just small things. He goes out after filming a set and he'll stop at like Burger King, McDonald's, Tim Hortons. He'll get freaking like $1,000 worth of food, come back and give it to everybody. Like, oh shit, Kevin, thanks. And he goes, "What do you want?" And I got it. It's no problem.
And Homelander kills people.
Yeah, I found it. It's
guys who do shit like that though, they're the ones you can respect.
This is the very concept of humans caring about humans. It's amazing.
Yeah, here I found it right here, Chris. It's like Keanu Reeves. When they read this heartwarming story of a janitor who met Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves brought him a store. It's like the janitor was like, I've been working as a janitor for the past 7 years, wiping the floor every day and breaking my back to feed my family until I met Keanu Reeves 5 days ago at a restaurant where I work in St. Louis. And now I'm a shop owner thanks to him.
Yeah. Like I said, and like what year did that happen?
Let me find this was when he was March 2nd, 2020.
Okay. Well, I'm saying,
yeah.
I say, and like, right now we're in September, almost October, and you're just hearing about it now. Because like I said, he's just like, Keanu wasn't like, you didn't see him over like, hey guys, it's my Instagram, my Twitter feed. I'm just bragging. He just did it. So no recognition.
Because real good people don't need recognition.
Yeah. So I did read this article because, with COVID and stuff, they're testing more things, but this came from September 10th last year. And they made a new trial Burger King, but apparently this Burger King is drive-thru only. So it seems like
really?
Yeah, the store itself is actually just like, to go in there for workers, make food, but the actual store does no dining. So it's just drive-thru. That's it. So they're trying to say like, it's trying to reduce the risk of COVID, but like, I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, or kind of hurt jobs because you have people not at cash. You won't have people at the front counter anymore, but like they're trying it. So
actually, you can just have extra windows, and that would make up for the lack of people.
Yeah.
That means that there'll be more windows to collect your food, pay from, instead of having the registers and just one person working a register.
Not just that, but they could still have the same amount of employees, but they'll be working in like grill, the fryer, all those areas of it.
What's mean? Well, you might slow down employees though, because you have people only cooking food. You don't have people out there like serving the restaurant, the diner part. So if you just do only drive-through, you will only need one person on drive-through watching register, and maybe two cooks. Now is it? It's like versus a whole staff. Because a whole staff, you have people handing out multiple orders out to the dining area. If you have just drive-through, that's only limited to one transaction. So that could,
unless they have windows on both sides, then it will double it, and there you go.
So they're saying, of course, they're telling that the Yahoo's finance trade team not to immediately replace BK, of course, but like they're saying that they're slowly incorporating into remodels and new builds. Some of the first prototypes with the new designs will be built in Miami, Latin America, and Caribbean. But he said they're investing a lot in technology and design as the pace and change in restaurants has been speeding up a lot. So.
Well, it's pretty interesting. I just watched. I'm watching a documentary on Netflix called History 101, and they had an episode about robotics and how it's increasing exponentially over the years. It's huge in Japan. Japan has, I think, 60,000 robotic jobs, where United States, I think, has 3,000, less than that. It's ridiculous. Just how things, and obviously people are worried about robotics taking over their jobs and replacing all that. And it's another funny thing that happened from it too was that in Japan, dating between a man and female has gone down because about, I think it said 3,700 men are now dating holographic women in Japan. They have holographic.
God, Chris, there is actually hope out there for you.
I don't want a hologram. I want actual sex doll.
Oh my God, there's actual hope out there for Mark.
Sex dolls.
No,
makes me think of
me out, Mr. Mark.
It makes me think of an Archer Krieger's girlfriend.
Oh God!
I'll be seeing it. I just saw Carlton yesterday on Hulu. Hulu just got season 11 of Archer. So I'm
gonna be watching it this week for sure.
There's maybe my lifetime. I think maybe 5 comedy series I've watched multiple times. Archer and Always Sunny. The past year I've watched twice.
Always Sunny.
That show is so wrong.
It is ridiculous.
I mean, it's like there's definitely the first season that is great for what it is, but I just still it's my favorite characters because Danny DeVito at his age, and the man's that age, and there's just no fucks given. The stuff he does, he should not be doing. It's my favorite was when in that couch episode where he showed himself on the couch.
God.
Is there a grown man in that couch? And you see a silhouette moving and stuff. And at one point, he just busts out of the couch. He's covered in sweat and he's running around buck ass naked. And Danny DeVito naked is a horrible sight. And he just doesn't give a shit. And he's covered in fucking sweat. And I'm like, oh my God.
I love it when they did the Lethal Weapon remakes.
Yeah. That's why I'm shocked with the whole PC right now with the whole blackface thing. They're not getting slain for that, because even I was talking to Jim about me and Christian yesterday. I watched the first 4 episodes of Psych, and I think Psych and Scrubs are probably my favorite 2 comedies that are underrated. And like Jamie said, right now Zach Braff and Donald Faison are doing the Scrubs podcast, where it's those 2 and different actors, guest stars, going through the entire series of Scrubs, and they're watching episodes and they're doing commentary. And certain streaming platforms, I found episodes of Scrubs and they're too offensive, and I'm like, have you watched Scrubs? That's the most lighthearted NBC show. What scenes I'm almost curious to look up what scenes in Scrubs are considered too offensive. What?
Don't even waste your time. Just understand that in 2020, everything is offensive. 5 years ago, things weren't that bad. 10 years ago, honestly, consider the stuff that we thought was funny a decade ago.
Yeah.
You think we could pull it off now at all, even a little bit?
In all honesty, it's every single solitary comedy, drama.
It's in all aspects. It's in everything.
Everything.
We can't get it. You can't do nothing now. The shit that we thought it was hilarious. I can't even think of something off the top of my head, but I know that there are things that we thought was just ridiculously funny.
I think one thing with Scrubs, because and even to this day, Zach Braff and Donald Faison, they're best friends in real life because what Scrubs did. So, and Turk and JD were best friends. I think one, JD always does his the throwaways in his head, where he does flashbacks and stuff. I think one episode he was dressing up like Turk, so of course he wore black makeup, just because in his mind he was being Turk and he's the black Turk, and of course that's too, you can't. But I'm not sure what else was too offensive with Scrubs, but I said, Always Sunny, the shit Always Sunny did even 10 years ago.
My goodness.
I'm surprised people haven't banned that show.
I need to see that show.
Oh, of course.
You have to.
Ask Al about that.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Actually, I'll tell you if you want to watch the first, no bullshit, the very first episode of the entire series is called The Gang Gets Racist. That's the first episode of this show. And they got a black friend, and they're all racist. They don't realize they're racist. It's crazy shit they do.
That's a good show. Like anybody, if you find a problem with Always Sunny in Philadelphia, then you're looking for problems.
Yeah.
Like you're actually out on the hunt to find something to be mad at.
Like there's so many transgender jokes that I'm surprised, like even from like 2 years ago. It's like they did all these trans jokes that I'm surprised they're not just like jumping.
All the gay bashing they do.
Yeah, it's like because they're all vile human beings. That's the premise. Like
that's the whole concept of the show.
An episode you had me watch where the one was supposed to marry Danny DeVito's character, but he was technically like her stepfather, and he raised her. And her real father was there, like trying to make them marry each other
because he wanted to get the money. Danny DeVito, he's such a sleazeball. That's what like Al said. That's what I hate too in comedies. Like this is why I say Al Bundy was awesome, because Al Bundy never changed. You watch Always Sunny between season 1 and season 13. They're the same piece of shit they were every season. It's like comedy characters should not change. It's like if Al Bundy came back in 2020, he wouldn't exist. But like if he did, he should be exact same way he was back in 1990.
Well, that's like if you go back and you watch Friends, the only one of them who didn't become more over dramatized was Chandler, and that's why so many people still to this day rewatching it, love Chandler. Mm-hmm. They made Joey stupider. They made Ross dumber. They made Phoebe more.
That's what with Seinfeld. Seinfeld, all four of them, every season of Seinfeld, they were exact same douchebags they were every fucking season. Like it's the comedy. It's like these people, if they're horrible human beings a decade ago, they're not going to evolve. That's why some people didn't want the whole like Bill and Ted 3, and I'm like, guys, Bill and Ted, they're not going to evolve. They'll be that way until they're 90. It's like
that's the whole premise of their character. Why would you change them?
Yeah, no, you know what movie I'm surprised they're not going after? Have you seen that show Freak with not Keanu Reeves but the other guy from Bill and Ted?
Oh, you mean Alex Winter?
Yeah, where they were mutated and in a freak show, and Mr. T went from a man to a woman.
Oh, jeez.
It was fucking hilarious.
Wow. Is it a show or a movie?
It's a movie. It's an old movie. I'll look it up so I can find the proper title.
There's a movie that I think Chris has been harassing me to watch. A lot of people told me about it, but I can't remember it. I never remember to watch it. I think it's Shameless on Netflix. Is it Shameless? That's what it's called?
Shameless?
The one with the dirtbag dude that's always doing like mad.
Yeah,
that's what it is, Shameless?
I've heard about it too. I still I gotta watch it myself.
Is it Shameless or Breaking Bad?
No, it's Shameless. Breaking Bad is a whole different. That's not a comedy.
No, I've heard of Shameless. It's on my list. No, I've heard.
Who told me about it? Somebody said I should watch it.
I told you to check out The Blacklist. Blacklist. That's because even Christian's like, we should watch The Blacklist. I'm like, after we watch Psych, The Blacklist is in the past decade my favorite in terms of drama, because like the shit James Spader does, every Emmy he's won for that show he deserves, because like you'll see the things he does and you're like, there's people out there that are like him. That's why like I always like these shows that are based on reality, because like the Goodfellas and Godfathers, these people exist. Like I said, The Blacklist is based on he's such a criminal that the FBI has to use him to create. You need a criminal to catch criminals, and he's always one step. He is 10 steps ahead of the FBI every fucking time. Like he's always playing them, and they know he's playing them, but they can't catch him. It's like like I said, episode 1 walks in. He's Raymond Reddington. He's been on the FBI's most wanted list, #1 for 25 years. He walks in, gets on his knees, and goes, "I give up." And you're like, hold up a second. He's been on the run for 25 years. If he wanted to get
tired.
Well, no. Well, and we watched the show. There's reasons like the most wanted man in the fucking country doesn't just walk in and say, "I give up." He's got such a hidden agenda, and it's like watching this constant espionage of cat and mouse, and like he's constantly playing the FBI, but they need him because as bad as he is, there's people that are 10 times worse than him. And when watching this show, like I said, these kind of people right now exist. And he admits to I'm a criminal. I know I'm a criminal. He's done bad things. He's done horrible things. He stole from people. But in comparison, there's criminals that are fucking way worse than him. So the FBI is like, well, we need him to catch the really bad guys, the guys that are like trafficking fucking kids, the guys that are in the corporations, the guys that said, Raymond Reddington he's a war criminal and he's a kind of a traitor to the American government, but like in comparison to what these motherfuckers are doing, you're like, we need Raymond Reddington. You're like, and you're just watching it. Like, I guarantee this shit's happening as we're down to recording this. This kind of shit's going on right now, and especially in other countries. Like, he's got ties to every nation on fucking planet. He's #1 most wanted criminal for a reason. Yeah. He has ties to every fucking country across the globe, and you're like, shit.
So
it's fascinating.
You know what I just finished watching?
What?
The Umbrella Academy.
Oh, they say porn.
I can't keep track.
No. I haven't watched that in a while.
Hold door.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just finished watching The Umbrella Academy.
Carlton watched it. Actually,
I like that show.
Everyone I think has watched it.
I watch anime over anything.
So anyhow, I watched the show. I told you, your son knew I was watching this show before you did.
Yeah.
And he was watching it with me.
He likes it.
First thing he says to me, "You're just watching this now." So that's the first thing. Then he's sitting there, he's watching it with me. And he's like, "I'm not going to tell you what happens, but..."
Was the butt?
And I just look at him like, anything you say before the word "but" is just pure and utter bullshit. So don't say anything else. And he's like, no, you're going to like this.
Stop talking.
And I'm like, Christian, shut up. Just shut up.
Well, that's a good thing to bring up. How do people feel about spoilers? Like, what are your personal opinions about spoilers and anything? Games, movies, books?
I'll let the guys go first.
I don't care if anybody spoils anything because it's not going to change the experience I have when I watch it. Like, you know what bothers me? I hate the people that are so anti-spoilers that when I ask them to spoil it, they're like, no, I'm not going to do it. You're going to watch the movie. Like, bitch, I'm asking you to tell me what's going to happen. Like,
well, I don't want to deprive you of that experience.
Yeah. But I don't have an issue with it. I know a lot of people that do, and I understand. I get it. But me personally, I don't care.
Yeah, I definitely think I've listened to a lot of radio shows and podcasts about that, and like, I definitely think there's it's definitely up to each person what the time limit is. But like, okay, spoilers. This film came out in 1990. Well, okay, if it's a 30-year-old movie, guys, it's like, seriously, I get that. It's like, like, some people, I've never seen Star Wars. I didn't know that, like, Vader was his father. Well, in all fairness, it's only been 40 fucking years. Like,
I wish I would meet somebody that said that. I'd be like, you know what? You haven't seen Star Wars?
There is some
fuck you.
And I've listened to different radio shows, and and people will say there is still in 2020 some people who don't know. They've never even heard of it. Like, what? Like, what bubble have you been living in for the past 50 years?
Your parents have done you a disservice.
Yeah, that's it. Like my 13-year-old, but no, I definitely think, because this happened with Game of Thrones. Like when Game of Thrones, the final season, like, whenever the episode come out, that people on social media would just blow stuff up. And like I would always say, if I'm busy working, if I can't watch the episode with you, that it's your best bet. Like, it's 2020, guys. This isn't 1990. It's not even 2000. It's 2020. If you want to get into a pop culture show, whether it's Walking Dead to see who dies or Game of Thrones, see who dies, it's your own responsibility at this point. Turn your phone off. And some people, and I feel bad for people. It's like, I got to check Facebook. And I'm like, look, I'll go a week without checking Facebook. I don't need Instagram or Twitch or Twitter. Like, if you don't want to know who dies in Game of Thrones the next day, if you're like, well, I was busy at work and I don't want to be spoiled, then that's your own fucking fault. Like, just don't turn your phone off. Like, your phone is not mandatory. So
exactly
what I'm saying, Carlton, like, I do get people, if you're watching a show for if this is like sequel number 5 or like the 7th Harry Potter and you want to know who dies, then it's your responsibility to, like, I couldn't make it to the theater opening weekend. Okay, then if you can make it to opening weekend theater, turn your phone off. Yeah. That's all I can tell you, because it only gets spoiled if you let people spoil it for you. It's like, don't check Facebook then. That's all I can tell you. It sucks, but like, people aren't getting the fact that this is the age, whether we like it or not, and this is our generation to Christian's generation. This is the age of social media. Yeah. And people, and there's people like you, Carl, like, we crack and fucking Mark, but like, Mark doesn't have a Facebook. He doesn't have a Twitter.
I don't have it either.
Yeah. And most days, I honestly respect that. Like, I'm even to the point now, I was thinking about this today at work, like, if it wasn't for right now the podcast, I, for most part, would even cancel most of my social media things, because
I literally created the social media accounts for the podcast.
Yeah,
like, I didn't have Facebook or Twitter or any of that.
I agree. Spoilers do suck, and like, people, it's like they gotta, like, it's terrible, but like, there should be a time limit. So it's like, if a show is 10 years old, then like, hey, you can't get mad at me. You spoiled it for me. Well, it came out in 1995. It's like, come on, man.
I got that weird.
What the hell are you, like, pointing at?
Well, he was pointing at you, but it's supposed to be towards
I got some weird. I spoil a lot of stuff. If I'm watching an anime that's 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons long, I'm like, what happened to this character? I don't care that I know, as long as how I got there is good. It's like, okay, this person died. How did they die? What led up to them dying? It's like Attack on Titan. I was like, wait, this dude died? Wait, I love this dude. And I saw how it happened, and I'm like, I don't care they died. That was fucking epic.
What you just said is exactly the reason I don't care about spoilers.
Yeah.
That's the exact reason. Because you could tell me something happened, but when I go and sit down and watch and get all the intricate details, I'm still going to have the experience of getting to watch it and see it and learn what happened. So it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care.
I tend to forget the spoilers when I'm watching stuff. If it's written really good, spoilers don't matter because it's just like, okay, this happened. That's 3 seconds of like 2 hours of how it led up to that. I'm like, damn, that 2 hours? Yeah. No. Epic. Fucking epic.
Sometimes I hear a spoiler and I'm excited to get to that point. You know, like, oh man, like the biggest one is like Chris read The Wheel of Time, and I read a spoiler that there's this one scene that Rand, he does this, and I'm like, holy crap, Rand does that, and I was just so excited. Like, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? I'm reading through like 800 pages before it happens, and it just blew my mind that. You know, I even knew it was coming, and I was looking for it. But when it happened, it still blew my mind.
Yeah. I had a similar experience with the anime Attack on Titan. I had people tell me about the fight with Levi and the Beast Titan.
Ooh, damn!
Actually, you told me about
it's going to be epic, and I was like, okay. And I had heard about it often, and then when I watched the show, when I actually watched the fight, nothing that was told to me prepared me for the actual fight. You know, like I watched the fight, I was like, holy shit! I rewound that thing like 37 times just to rewatch that fight. It was amazing. I was like,
actually, that was 4th of July because Al and Ellie told me about that. We stopped recording the podcast. We're outside. Al was telling me about the whole fight with Levi. So it's 4th of July. I never forget because Jamie and Brian, like, Chris, what are you doing? I was like, it's not dark out yet. Let's do it. And I'm just like, I had a bag of Doritos and a fucking Coke.
He like stayed inside, didn't socialize with a single human being, stayed inside and just watched freaking TV.
Brian came up. I said, Brian, we're in episode 19 and stuff. He said, I heard about this fight between Levi and the Beast Titan. I'm like, I am not moving from this fucking couch until I see this shit. And like Al was saying, even though I knew it was coming.
In the amount of time he stayed inside the house, I helped Jen pitch a tent, freaking, got annoyed to death by, a little 10-year-old girl that I wanted to, drop kick.
You should have.
I really should.
You know what's funny is but Jamie and Brian, though, you've seen Jamie's anime collection. Yeah. She's got, 1,000 DVDs. Oh, God, her and Brian are like, we understand. Because they've already seen it, so Brian's like, Chris?
Well, it didn't help, too, that Jamie was, drunk already. And Jamie, when she's drinking, she's, the nicest human being ever. It's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. They kept walking by chiming in, and Brian's like, you're here. He's like, this one scene, because they already watched it. So I'm like, I was like, I heard about this. And I'm like, Chris, with fireworks? I'm like, fuck the fireworks. I'm like, I can't. I'm just eating Doritos, a whole bag. And
he stole all the freaking Doritos.
I saw the fireworks last year. Fucking Beast Titan.
I mean, he wanted to be outside for the fireworks, but at the same time.
He was probably humming the theme song while he's eating the Doritos.
I went inside and he freaking used the bathroom, and there's Chris just
Yeah. That's, the past at least 6 months, about a year, that's the most where, said, I was holding in piss and fuck my bladder. I'm like, I am not moving from this fucking seat until he said, watch. He's like, Uncle Chris, you're watching this one episode? I'm like, yeah. And like I said, Al and Elliot told me about it. Until I seen it, I'm just watching it
he's watching TV. I'm pitching a fucking tent.
And what, Longhorn's pants?
I think Ben pitched the tent that they were sleeping in.
Wow.
I was called. I had some freaking jackasses drive past me, scream out that Black Lives Matter, called me and Jen the N-word, and drove past again.
Welcome to life in NY.
So
what can pitch a tent? I'm just saying something's wrong.
Yeah. So what's your thing about spoilers?
I wouldn't mind them, except for the fact that I have a brother who, Chris, you know.
Well, because I got Susan. I know you eventually called me to watch, but I got Susan in Supernatural. So out of respect, because I'm already 14 seasons in, she's seen things for the first time. She's like, so I wouldn't tell her nothing. this asshole is destroying the entire fucking show for me. Like, I mean,
the first thing he ever did that destroyed something for me. Now, when we were younger, we came from the generation. Obviously, like, I'm a lot younger than like 2/3 of you. Elliot's probably the one I'm closest in age to.
And
So,
more.
Wait, really?
yeah.
You,
5.
you and two are the youngest ones.
I'm 29. I'll be 30 at the end of next month.
Youngin.
So we're from the generation when growing up, we read the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
So I had all 4 of the first ones. He took every single book, read them, and then told me what the fuck happened in every single book. Then the 5th book did the same thing. The 6th book, and the 6th book's the one that pissed me off because he's like, oh yeah, Snape kills Dumbledore. And I'm like, why would you tell me that?
Yeah.
Like, why would you, like, even comprehend the notion of telling me that?
See, the mistake
Why
was
can't
yours.
you just let me read it for myself?
You should have chopped him in the throat after the first book.
I was thinking about a punch to the
It
chest.
would not have mattered at all.
I think spoilers of our Carlton. It's like it depends on how good the story is because, like, if you had told me like Last of Us 2, like Sue, it's not gonna play it, but Elliot and
Like, you guys can talk about video games in front of me. I'm not gonna care.
Well, the premise of Last of Us 2 was
Like,
they pulled some like Last Jedi shit where the main character Joel from part 1, they kill him 90 minutes into the game. It was
you told me about that.
Yeah, it was leaked out a long time ago. Now, had I walked into the game not knowing this though, it would have a different experience. It would shock me because I already knew it was coming. It just didn't affect me as much because I already knew it was coming. And like I didn't.
You already had the time to be angry and get past it.
Pretty much, yeah. It didn't affect me. It would have affected me a lot better not knowing. So it's like it just depends on how invested you are. Like I said, if someone's like, well,
I mean, yeah, like when you spoil like a TV show, you're only spoiling so much. When you're actually like spoiling like a book, though.
Well, it's a storyline itself, though. So whether it's Harry Potter or Star Wars, like I said, if someone like if you said, oh, like let's say Vader's Luke's father, it happened 40 years ago. It's not that big of an impact, but like,
when the book just gets out and like I'm already reading the book and I'm almost there and I'm like doing whatever, and you're
I
like,
can see why that would piss you off.
By the way,
yeah.
Wait till you get to this part. This person dies.
Well, right now, everybody here except for Elliot, because even Carlton, we're all into Game of Thrones. Now, whenever the next book comes out,
whenever that comes out, Jesus.
But if somebody spoils what happens, because we're all expecting this book to be different than the TV show.
Clearly.
So some asshole online ruins the ending for the book, it's going to kind of piss you off. It's like, but because we're so invested into the story, though.
Well, that's like the one freaking night. Now, the number one rule for most of the groups on Facebook when it came to Game of Thrones was wait 3 days. Wait 3 days before you put anything out there from the episode.
Yeah.
Because there are people out there in different time zones, people who are working, people who are like waiting to watch it. This one mother effort, the Hold the Door episode.
Yeah, Hold Door.
Yeah. They spoiled it that night.
Ooh.
They got in so much freaking trouble with the admin that it was pitiful. And I'd seen it before we even watched the freaking episode because we weren't even going to watch it that night. And I looked at Chris and I'm like, we have to watch the fucking episode. I need to know what the fuck this means.
Means Hold Door.
Yeah.
Hold Door.
Where's that?
He's not really dead. It's just in your mind.
No, I think it's but the problem is there are some people out there like these people they love misery. They will go out of their way to be a dickhead online, and because if they're part of a Game of Thrones or any kind of anime, like there's some people out there for like so we Attack on Titan's coming out for all of us, and like I don't want to know what happens in the last season. I have no fucking clue. I don't want to know because if I already know what's going to happen, it will in some ways.
The trailer. Ben, don't watch the trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer. I'm just saying I still want to know how it's going to end, but I want to see it for myself. You know?
Dude, all of these animes is like if I get into it, it's like I'm gonna read the manga. So I read the Attack of Titan manga. That like before you guys were even done season 1, like I guess compared to the manga, I was like on season 3 or something because I knew about the origins of the Titans, like Levi beasting on the Beast Titan. Yeah. You know,
the thing about me is when it comes to like anime and manga, it has to be one or the other because I won't do both. If I read the manga, the anime is dead. And a lot of times, I like the anime. Like especially if I've seen the anime first, I like the first 2 or 3 episodes. That'll stop me from reading the manga because I know reading the manga moves at a way faster pace than watching the anime.
Yeah.
Because the manga figure that's based on how fast you can read, plus the images. So yeah, it's all based on how fast you can turn the page.
The mangas you read them backwards versus comics.
Yeah, right to left.
Which is weird as hell.
Like even DBZ, I can't see stuff on my phone popping. Oh, DBZ Goku just did. I don't know. I don't want to because whenever the new it probably won't be called Dragon Ball Super, obviously, but whatever the new Dragon Ball
storyline is.
Yeah, it's whatever they're gonna call. I don't want to know about Goku perfecting Ultra Instinct ×7 or something. Frieza getting like a silver form or some shit. Just like,
Frieza Platinum.
Frieza getting a gender.
Frieza actually getting his wish from the dragon that he grows
to be 5 centimeters.
Yeah. 5 centimeters.
Goku abandoning another child in the wild to an alien creature that wanted to kill him.
Yeah, I remember years ago, me and a few friends of mine, we had like so much debates about that same thing. It was like, yo, how is everybody okay with him just giving his son away? Like, here, raise him. It's your problem now.
You know, that is like the biggest thing too. Like, I think that's why Vegeta is more like everyone's favorite rather than Goku.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that
because Vegeta will fuck you up over his kids.
Exactly. Like
after he's done punching them in the face.
Exactly.
I don't know,
because someone like made that comment. They're like, if you like watch like right after Bola's born, and Goten and freaking Trunks are trying to change her diaper and they can't get it, and Vegeta just comes out like a fucking boss and changes the diaper, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that!" And Trunks is like, "Dad, you're awesome!" And he like just walks away with like that little smirk.
That I'm the man look.
Yeah. Or like Goku like trying to say to him, he's like, "Hey, we need to go train," and he's like, "I can't." And he's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because Bulma's pregnant."
Bulma's pregnant. He didn't want to leave her.
Yeah.
And he's like, "So what if Bulma's pregnant? You're not. Let's go."
Or like when he fucked Beerus up for hitting Bulma.
Oh my god.
Not my Bulma.
I like Frieza more than any of them.
Of course, that's the villain.
My hands down favorite Dragon Ball villain of all time was Kid Buu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He is just the fact that you couldn't reason with him, you couldn't like negotiate or talk.
No.
He was just on a rampage to destroy everything. And if it wasn't for the fact of Goku beating him, he would have just ripped the universe apart. He's hands down my favorite.
No, I lied. It was the Ginyu Force. All of them. Not separate. I loved all of them because their original entrance was awesome with Chase doing metal screaming and shit and headbanging. I was like, yes, I love these guys more than anybody.
See, I'd say Nappa, but Nappa's only because of the abridged.
I always like Turles. Goku's... I don't know. I just... the Tree of Might. I don't know. I just
confused by that. Was he his twin or his clone?
I would say twin.
Good question.
Who knows?
I don't know. I just like that. He just in that Tree of Might thing. He just went on a rampage. I think for a minute, just whooping Goku's ass. I'm like, man, that was just relentless. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And what does that taste like, Chris? Does it taste like hairy vaginas?
It's very bitter. So,
it's white Zinfandel. It's not supposed to be bitter.
So try it then. Yeah, so I got the Foxhorn White Zinfandel.
Fox balls.
It says lively and slightly sweet. Our white Zinfandel has aromas of freshly picked strawberries. Bullshit.
Slightly sweet? I don't think I would.
Fox testicles and raspberries dipped in it after it's done. Yeah, she's a girl. Let's pee.
I'm more
fermented fox testicles.
Pink lemonade good. Fox nuts bad.
Oh no, I've been getting into a lot.
Ooh, she took a big whiff of that too.
Craziest animes. I watched one called "How Not to Summon a Demon Lord."
I just watched
that with anyone around because it's an introvert virgin with all these women literally getting butt naked to rub against them. They're like, "Oh, you're the most powerful being." I was like,
"So it's basically about Mark?"
No,
I watched that anime like that. I watched it and I had to rewatch it.
You said an introverted virgin.
No, this dude gets all the ladies, especially like 100,000-year-old deity of destruction was just like grinding on him. I'm like, I don't know how this makes me feel, but I want to be that guy. Like an elf with tits bigger than most of our torsos. I'm like, I want to be this guy. Love her. Love her.
She does the stupid cliche run where she's like, "Oh my!"
No,
and her chest is all over the place.
No, the cat girl, because he owns cats. He's like, "What if I do this to your stomach?" And she has an orgasm. I'm like, "What the fuck did I just watch here?"
It's like, I don't know how I feel. Like, oh wait, yes I do.
I was like, I want a cat girl now.
I didn't realize my hand was in my pants.
That's Mark.
I was telling Chris, it's like with Mark, like wondering where all his money is. Like maybe he's been sending money to Japan for them to build him a robot girlfriend or something.
You know what? If that's what he's doing with his money, then it's worth it.
How's it taste?
How's it?
How does those fuck balls taste?
This might be the worst white drink vanilla I think I've ever tasted in my
and
entire
on that
fucking
note,
life.
I won't even try it.
Oh, come on, Al.
Take another swig, Sue. Make sure to get that taste proper.
Tonight comes out the Notebook. Actually, I'm writing down. Yeah, fox balls, bad.
Owl balls, deer balls, stag balls, fox balls.
Yeah. I think that's what's like showing Carlton like with
what is with you with the fucking animal freaking alcohol?
Red Goliath. Rex Goliath
was good though. Come on, we all got to admit.
Like, I didn't try it because it had a giant cock.
That's your loss.
Like, no, I'm good.
Rex Goliath.
Al took some of it.
You don't need a chaser after wine, but goddamn.
Hey, if Al had to help you
try our
the
savory
giant
cock,
then you know what?
Al took some of it. He didn't take much. I took
just
more of
the
it.
tip of Rex Goliath.
Mixing it with that freaking vodka.
We'll feel any man's belly.
That's his tag team. It's sad.
I tried taking on the giant cock, but I just couldn't do it.
Al can handle that cock. It's too much cock for him.
It was way too much cock. I couldn't.
I was telling Chris, I was reading the boys comic, and there's this Russian dude. His name was called Love Sausage, and Huey was asking, Butcher, why is he called Love Sausage? Like, you'll find out. So they get attacked by some agents, and so they go after him. He puts on his outfit, and when he steps out, like the comic shows him with like a 3-foot-long cock imprint in his sweatpants. It literally went down to his kneecap, and he's like, "Yeah, it's like this huge bulge." And I was like, "Jesus Christ, I love sausage." And they're chasing these dudes through the strip club, and he collapses. And he was like, "What's the matter?" I was like, "I got an erection. I can't run with it." Titties are my kryptonite.
When does the new season of The Boys even come out? Like,
it's out right now.
It's out now?
It's on episode 5.
First 4 episodes. Yeah.
Good night, gentlemen.
Yeah. I've actually been watching because, see, that's another thing. I've been watching spoiler videos because I'm just watching myself, but I'm just so like, I have to wait till the season ends because I want to watch them all in a row. But yeah, it's like the first 3 came out 2 weeks ago. Season 4 came out Monday, and episode 5 just came out like yesterday. I'm watching.
Is it this season that they introduced Soldier Boy?
No, it's next season.
Next season.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna wait until the season's done to watch it.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm just gonna binge it.
I'm gonna wait until the 3rd season to actually watch it.
That's a good idea.
I was gonna say something. Now I can't.
I did that with Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Game of Thrones until season 7 was done.
I watched 15 minutes and got confused.
See, I didn't get into it until right before the 3rd season.
I got into it in prison, of course.
No, because Jamie and Brian showed it to me before you did.
Yeah.
And they just showed me one episode, and they're like trying to describe shit. They're like, so yeah, they find these wolf puppies.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then there's this like little dwarf guy, and he's like fucking awesome. And they're like, and this blonde-haired douchebag, he's fucking his blonde-haired douchebag sister. And they're twins. And I'm like, okay. And then they're like, and then there's this chick, and she's married to a barbarian. And Jamie's like, and that guy's hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then they're like, and then there's this brooding bastard. And Jamie's like, and then that guy's hot. I'm like, okay.
I gotta send you a link. I watched episode 3 of that show C because like when I bought the iMac, I got a free year of Apple TV. And Jason Momoa, there's this one fight scene, and I was reading the comments on YouTube. There's a friggin' fight scene because all the characters are blind, and he did this fight scene where I'm like, I had to rewatch this shit about 3 times. I'm reading the comments, and people are like, this show is so fucking underrated because it's Apple TV. This shit, I mean, I'm talking about like he's cutting off limbs, he's gutting, like having Jason Momoa walk into a room being blind and just like butchering 15 fucking guys. It's like, it's art. Like watching how well choreographed, and you get the feeling of like he's really, well, he's not blind, but his character feels like it's blind. And the way he just, so things like the way he's tapping a sword on the ground, he throws beads down, and the way he's doing this fucking combat style, like a blind combat style, and just watching it, and I'm like, how long did it take to film that shit? Like when Jason Momoa did that, and first thing I'm reading a comment, he's like, dear God, like Khal Drogo with a samurai sword or something. Like, but he did, the way he dispatches these fucking dudes, I'm like, that shit, that's some choreography right there.
What's it called?
C. Like I said, the premise of the show, because it came on Apple TV, it said that this virus came out, it wiped out humanity except for 2 million people, wiped out the entire human race. The ones that survived were blind. And this has been like 150 years into the future that humanity has been blind for the past 150 years.
Shit.
Yeah, so it's deep. So he's like the leader of this one tribe there, and they're very like Native American, like different like fucking spiritual and stuff. He winds up having two kids, twins, a freaking boy and a girl. They're the first ones. They have the gift of sight. They're the first ones in like almost 150 years they can see. And like now they're all flipping out like, yo, it's like the human race has been blind for almost 2 centuries. So it's like, it sounds kind of, I said,
now I want to watch it. From
production value, I'm very impressed where you have an entire cast, all the characters, all the actors, they're playing blind characters. So can you imagine just like just being born blind, but the entire human race is blind. So it's like, some people cracked on reading the comments about the cheesiness of it. We'll also understand the fact that like whether you watch Daredevil or different TV shows, if you're born blind your entire life, you have a different sense and attunement to the natural world that we don't have. Like I said, the things that they do, we don't do because we have the gift of sight. But like if you've been blind your entire life, your sense of smell, taste, of hearing, of touch is way more enhanced than ours would ever be.
You know what's weird when you think about it from like if you give it any like deep thought, it would have to completely change the way the human species existed because they can no longer build stuff the way they would build stuff normally. Yeah, like because we use our eyes to like make measurements, build all the graphs and all the blueprints that we need to construct buildings.
Yeah.
Then we have to see the actual construction and process. So how would these people go about like if they're building a village?
Yeah.
And like a community or whatever, how would they even go about it?
Even like episode 2, they come to a big clearing, and they're in episode, they show these guys, they show them making a pulley system, and they're building houses, but they're all fucking blind. And I'm like, it sounds odd to us because we've never been blind. They said, but if you've been built that way your entire life, when you're watching them do this, it's only it's like 7 episodes. I'm just fascinated by the way that imagining our entire species was fucking blind. And they said how we would have to adapt to that as a species. Like that, not just one, said for the past 150 years, all of humanity is fucking blind. Like I said, I'm watching it, and the opening episode, the fight scenes are doing, it's seeing blind combat. We've all seen different martial arts movies. Like, remember, Carlton, we watched Ninja Scroll?
I was just thinking about that.
Holy shit. And you're thinking to yourself, well, how the hell could he be? No, because that blind dude was so fucking in tune. Like, he was giving for the main character's name there, run for his money. He almost beat him. It wasn't for that girl. I think even like Willie was saying, like Jubei would have lost that fight if that girl didn't step in and help shit. So
it's that movie Blind Fury as well. I was about to bring
with Rutger Hauer.
Yeah. I was like, that's still to this day one of my favorites. But yeah, it's like you said, the concept of like losing your ability to see is definitely going to heighten.
Yeah, it's only like said.
There's documentaries that prove it. This guy, he does a clicking sound like a bat sonar, and he can navigate through ever-changing mazes.
Oh.
Yeah, he just goes around. Just from the echo, he knows exactly where if there's an object in front of him or not.
Now, if you want your Carlton, if you want to out, because Apple TV, just log on there. I give you my password email because like it's as a premise. I'm like, this might not kind of work. And I'm watching it. I'm like, you know what? This show is like people are saying the cinematography, like the wide shots there, the way they filmed this. I'm extremely fucking. Like, Apple had to dump some money into this shit. It's like how Amazon did with The Boys, and it's like people are saying
Apple got some money though.
The reason
is Apple TV an app that you could just download to any phone, any device.
I got it on my phone. I got it on the my computer. So just check it out
right now.
No, it's definitely said I'm only 3 episodes in, but said there was one fight scene where And they're smart. The kids are only babies for episode 1. Episode 2, 10 years have passed by, or 12 years. Then in episode 3, the kids are in their 20s. So they don't spend, because it would be kind of weird, like, have these kids, these babies, because, like, yeah, the first year you wouldn't know these kids can see. They don't realize it's like episode 2, the kids are like 4 and 5. I'm like, well, how do you know they can see? And like the kids are, now they're getting the gift of speech and stuff too. And they're seeing things that, people aren't seeing. So like they figure out by the time they're 5 years old, these kids can see. So, but episode 3, the kids are in their freaking 20s. And like, yeah, at one point, the one said the boy gets kidnapped. Jason Momoa's like, I have to go there. I have to do something. And the daughter's like, Dad, what are you doing? He goes, I have to give out this part of myself, like turn this back on that I haven't done in a long time. And man, I felt bad for those barbarians. It's like they kidnapped his son. Big fucking mistake. It's like, it was fucking brutal. So yeah, there's a couple other shows too. There's one with Chris Evans. I'll listen to Kevin Smith talk about that. Some kind of like warrior show. But Captain America's in game, so.
It's like when Thor was in Snow White, the sequel. Like, oh, well, Thor's in it.
The first one's good. I admit, the first one's actually pretty good. Because, like, Charlize Theron's good in the first one. The second one's
and I was like, Chris, like, I'm going to go see it because Chris Hemsworth's in it.
Actually, I'm like, watch Snow White and the Huntsman. It's actually, the fight scenes are fucking really good. That's what I said with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is a bad movie, but the people who did Harley Quinn, the choreographer from John Wick, and I'm watching the film, her fight scenes are fantastic in Harley Quinn. Like, the movie I don't like, but like, when Margot Robbie had a baseball bat and she did a line of coke, I'm like, I'm watching her drop these dudes, and I'm like, holy, you can tell the people who did John Wick did Harley Quinn. The fucking fight scenes are over the top. Like, I'm like, damn.
You know what I was in love with for the longest while for fight scenes? Have you seen Into the Badlands?
Oh, of course. Oh, we all did.
Like,
not me.
Really?
I like anime more than anything.
Listen, I love anime too.
I've seen the first season.
I've seen the first, and I started watching the second one.
I mean, it's on Netflix. Yeah, we see Carlton episode 1. The fight scenes they're doing for Into the Badlands, like, you never seen anything on television like that. And like,
that shit was so good. I'll
listen to Kevin Smith talk to a friend of Mark about that. What they would do is they would take all the actors, they would have them come to this thing called the barn. They would go there down in like is it Arizona, Kentucky or something. They would have this massive ass like old barn and train them. They would live there for like 4 months and just spend 12 hours, 7 days a week just training for Into the Badlands. When you watch that show, you're like, you can tell, like, that's actually the actor, no stunt doubles. That's the actors spending 4 months of their life training for that shit. You're watching this like, holy shit. Like,
they make the fight scenes look so effortless in the show. It's like, if you didn't know that they trained as hard as they did to be that good, you'd be like, these guys must all be really talented.
Yeah. No, it's truly amazing, the fight scenes. And like, I like the premise too. It's like, it's in the future where, like, the guns have been outlawed. There's no guns. Everyone's back into like the Badlands. Everyone has samurai swords and the clippers and shit. I'm like, yeah, it's just like fantastic show.
The last movie I saw that was not anime was Jojo Rabbit. The last series was The Boys. But aside from that, it's just all anime.
I love anime too. But there are some shows that are so good, you have to, like, you can't ignore them.
I ignore a lot of shows. That's why I'm trying to move out a little bit, but I always find something. It's like, hey, come back to me. It's like, but Claymore, no live action. I don't care.
Wait, no. Well, the Badlands is on Netflix. Always Sunny's on Hulu, so you got both of those.
I have both of those.
Yeah.
After Claymore, I'll pick one of them. I'll probably do it.
Always Sunny. You're gonna really like that.
You will love Always Sunny.
That's the only show. Like it. I can't believe I actually, like, the past year I watched it a second time, and that's like probably the only comedy besides Archer I've watched a second time. Where Archer, I'm just like, holy Christ, this show is fucked up. Like,
I promise you, every episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you're gonna wonder how the fuck they got this thing to air.
You're not.
You're gonna be like, how did they get this on TV?
Every episode, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
Don't tell me that. I have 28 more episodes of.
But trust me, once you watch Always Sunny, you're gonna be texting me and Carlton like, "Dude, you see season 1? Like, you see season 2?" And it's it. And like, I would say every season, just like South Park, I made Sunny to almost be like a live action South Park, where like every season, like Allison, how the fuck did you get away with this shit on FX? Like,
I think I saw one episode about some crackhead who got sober, and then they got him back in the crack or something.
Cricket.
That's what they decided, we're going to be crackheads and live off the system. They made a decision like, we're going to be worse people than we are in life. Like,
it's friggin' D and what's his name there? Yeah,
Her brother.
Yeah, her and her fucking brother, who were twins, they decided to get on crack to get on welfare.
I think so. I saw him like, I don't understand this. Maybe
it's like and then it wasn't working out the way they thought it was gonna. Yeah, it was like, this crack thing is it's not working out.
We're also doing Sunday marathons down here. Jesus Christ.
So everybody keeps telling me like Shameless is just as good. Like I gotta start watching Shameless.
I'm going to have to watch episode 1 of Science Tonight to show Elliot. That fucking show.
I like the musical where they were black, but oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. They do a thing where like they're big fans of Lethal Weapon, so they want to Lethal Weapon 5. So one of them dresses up like fucking Danny Glover. He's like Mertz. He's in the shower and he's taking a shower. All the black makeup's coming off him and shit. Like, holy Christ.
That sounds funny.
And Danny DeVito plays a fucking this Russian like gangster fucking drug warlord. He's having sex with this woman. It's the most horrible sex scene you've ever seen filmed.
His face. Oh my god.
He said because Danny DeVito comes in season 2, and like once he comes in, he's a pure like the shit Danny DeVito does. Oh my Christ,
bro. It'll make you understand why his kids are shit people and their friends are shit people because their father is a shit person.
They are. Yeah, they call it a cricket, man. The shit every season cricket comes back here. The shit they do to this guy called Cricket, it's like me and Carl would say, you see last season, every season they make his life gets worse and worse to the point you're like, it's they one up themselves like how worse can we make this guy's life? Like the shit they put him through. Like
what was the one episode where they were in the bar and like there was like a freaking SWAT team outside the bar?
Yeah, he said
someone was about ready to like jump off of the bar.
And they were decided like they're having a sit down with graphs and stuff how to be if they're going to be a good person or just ignore it. I was like, what the fuck?
We gotta go through that show. That show is so
I mean, I haven't watched it all the way through. I've only seen like bits and pieces that.
Oh my goodness,
it's definitely on the level of like how we watch Married Children, South Park, Always Sunny. Always Sunny is like it's our generation's version of it's like a live action South Park because the shit they do in the show, you're like, Allison, every year, every season, I'm like, how the fuck did they get away with this shit? Like, because everything's so PC now. Like, well, at least Lucifer's on Netflix.
No, but every season he fucked with that one black dude.
Yeah,
that shit was hilarious.
Oh, yep. That's true. I remember that.
I just got to the middle of season 5 and I got to wait for the rest of it.
Yeah. How'd you like that ending?
Yeah.
So somebody was telling me something
about
him losing the guy who's playing Lucifer is going to be replaced or something like that.
No. Yeah, no, that was a rumor like a month ago, and everyone's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Because I heard that shit broke my heart immediately. I was like,
no, I read an article like a few weeks back, and everyone's just like, he's signed on for like 2 more seasons. So
that shit was amazing. I love that show.
I just
all the stupid.
When I saw who was playing God, I was like, I'm not mad. I'm not even mad.
I was in tears laughing. I was like, you're going to help me.
He's a fantastic actor. He's one of my fucking top 5. Like that was the first black president, the actual black president. Like, watch 24. Like, shit.
I hated when my children fight.
I was like, hey, I know that voice.
Yeah,
that show was amazing.
So wondering why they made Michael a broken angel. His wing was all crooked.
He slouched to one side.
I was like, why did they make him like that? Like,
tell me what's your biggest. Excuse me. No, I love the nudist colony episode because I like that little chick, and I was just like, yes. Yeah. It's like, damn.
How do they do the angel wings?
They do it nice.
Well, it's obviously CJ.
I'm gonna say that,
but like. For example, like when watching Supernatural, like how they'll do it is like when they reveal their wings.
These are more like
a shadow.
No, these are more like when Lucifer flexes, his wings are like the size of like this room.
They're massive.
Yeah, they're like a 10-foot wingspan.
It's different. Yeah. Like I said, when you compare, like say Michael or like actually Castiel isn't in it, but they mentioned the name Castiel. So like, but there is like Lucifer himself.
Castiel was made up Supernatural. Though.
But his name is mentioned in the show at one point. So I said,
was it?
No, he really was.
Like I said, when you see Lucifer, it's just like it's like how I said with I told Elliot, I rewatched Red Dragon, Hannibal, and Silence of the Lambs. When you look at Anthony Hopkins and Mads Mikkelsen, they're both fantastic, but just they definitely play Hannibal 2 different ways.
Yeah.
So like with Lucifer, when you watch Mark from like Supernatural Lucifer versus Tom Ellis. Tom Ellis is a lot more charming. He's smiling. He's not the bad guy. He plays it a whole 180. Like I've seen people.
Even the Supernatural Lucifer, yeah, he's a bad guy, but you love him.
Well, you love him because he's evil, though.
But do you love him?
No, Loki was far better.
What?
I thought Loki was far better than any of them.
Oh yeah,
he was just.
It's Supernatural.
Every episode.
Never seen it yet.
Completely took the show.
But of course, Lucifer is a big part of Supernatural. But it's just like different actors playing different. You know, so I've even seen Supernatural fan boards like who plays it better, and a lot of people like listen, even though this is Supernatural fan page, don't sleep on Tom Ellis plays that character.
No,
fantastic. He's way different than.
Literally, he sold me in the first episode.
Yes.
I was like, I'll give it a try.
Watch Lucifer. So when I do,
but again, it's two different actors playing the same character. What's almost like if you look at Keanu Reeves, like I've watched enough CW shows at Carlton. Matt Ryan plays Constantine is way different than Keanu Reeves Constantine.
Yeah,
it's a whole 180. So it's
it's the same with anything. Like you look at Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and then Heath Ledger is.
But like I have because
and Jay Leto as the Joker.
That never happened.
Yeah,
because Lucifer, because Tom Ellis is the main character. The Mark he's a side character in Supernatural. So like because Tom Ellis, this is his show. I feel you get more of him because this is his show. So you're seeing a lot more of this character. He's never episode versus like Supernatural. You only see Lucifer in that show like once every few seasons. So. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot more charming. But the comedy is like Christian laughs his ass off. The comedy is fucking fantastic.
There's also a lot in it. You're watching. You're like, holy shit!
Yeah,
I love this dude. I understand him.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like he brings a lot of other. This character makes you not hate the concept of the devil so much anymore. It's like
it makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense. And his devil form, I was like, when he got his complete devil form with the devil wings, I was like. Masterpiece, like this is it. Like, why would you want to go back to like angel version?
Clap. Like,
I know Carlton. Like Al was telling me about, like because Lucifer the character came from Neil Gaiman with the Sandman books. I know Al was mentioning like the TV show is one thing, but the comics he's
very powerful.
He's no level. They actually read 2 days ago that they're making because right now in audiobooks, which I want to check it out, audible.com, they got the James McAvoy's playing the Sandman. With the audio, and I guess it's a really good production. They have different voice actors come in, but they are actually Netflix is going to be making the Sandman TV show. Now, of course, everyone's like, "Who's going to be casting for Lucifer?" It's like I was reading the top 10 choices, and like number 5 was like, well, obviously Tom Ellis is Lucifer, but it's like, would that be too on the nose of him playing Lucifer in his own show than in the Sandman? Because Lucifer comes from the Sandman books, which now they're developing. So it's like, with Netflix, but seeing what Netflix has done with Lucifer TV show, I'm actually looking forward to seeing the Sandman TV show. But like Lucifer is part of Sandman, that universe. So it's like, will he come back? I don't know. Like,
they should use him. Like it would just make everything tie in nicely.
I would want to watch it more with him coming back. Because that's Lucifer to me. I don't care.
Exactly.
Supernatural fans, I'll get tasers and just tase you all. That's Lucifer for me. I don't want some brooding dude. I want the guy playing piano, drinking. Like, I can't get drunk. Oh my god damn!
And just having nonstop orgies because he can. Like 37 naked women. Of course I did.
No, him pulling out like all the toys and just start sniffing them. Like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I like this dude.
Huh?
Why?
Type your phone number in. Kaya needs Wi-Fi password.
Oh my god! How long she lived there for?
I will come down and get it.
Phone number?
Yeah.
How does?
We don't want her throwing any more bricks.
Jesus.
Chris, do you actually have her phone number?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, you do?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're a better brother than I thought you were.
Oh no, you weren't there when I was
still don't know her birthday.
Laugh so much. That was pretty funny. Offensive, but funny.
I pulled up a funny article on that. Funny, but like, so you guys even Sue would know, like, even though a lot of us aren't big to UFC, the name Conor McGregor, right? Yeah. So
that Irish guy.
Yeah, but I guess he's been arrested for sexual assault.
Jesus.
It's like, gosh, shit.
I know him from punching old people who don't like his whiskey.
Yep. So he was actually arrested in France. So
for sexual assault.
The incident allegedly occurred on Thursday at a bar, but McGregor, of course, he denies it. So, but they're I tried this, still don't work. That's the Wi-Fi password, my phone number. I'm not sure what she's doing, but
don't put the 1 in front of it.
Yeah. I'm actually on the Wi-Fi right now, so
just tell her.
Shit, I'm on the Wi-Fi right now. That's probably why she can't get access. Too many things are connected.
Maybe.
There's a million things that are always connected to the Wi-Fi.
Well, also Wi-Fi's been shit lately.
Oh yeah, of course. Anyway, so it says
never mind, it worked. Thanks.
Yeah,
put down the brick. Everything is fine.
Please don't break.
It's probably doing Chris 2 when it's supposed to be Chris 5.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Actually, yeah. So Connor he allegedly punched an older man at an Irish pub.
Yeah.
He announced that he would plead guilty and face prison time if necessary. He also said that he tried to make amends for the older guy. But in October of 2019, he was accused of sexually assault in Ireland. Jesus Christ.
Was it country of Ireland?
Was it because she didn't like the whiskey either?
And of course, back in 2018, a woman accused him of sexually assaulting her at the Beacon Hotel in Dublin. So yeah, he's got multiple sexual allegations against him.
Jesus.
Connor.
That's been a big thing lately. It's like everyone left and right.
Well, is it just because of the money and fame, or did it really happen? I'm always going to be a skeptic. I need proof. Sorry. I can't say it to one person and say, oh, another person, yeah, they definitely did it. No, I want proof. I may not like the guy, but still need proof.
So I feel bad, though.
But it's probably over the terrible whiskey. I'm just throwing it out there. I'll punch you in the face, boy. Oh, I don't like your whiskey. Take that. Take it too.
Jesus.
You should have heard me during JoJo. So apparently, I have this fantasy where Mark and Junior's father are going to fight, and it's going to be like walruses bumping chests on the beach, fighting for the rights to mate.
Please don't start this shit again.
Tell me how funny that would be. I would sell many tickets.
In my defense, I was in a very bitchy mood that day.
You were?
I was tired, had a fucking headache, and I'm listening to Junior's fucked up laughter. This motherfucker doing his Nazi voice, talking about the juzu.
A juzu?
The juzu.
For when you need to put some somewhere, you put some in the juzu.
Because Al, we're playing Xbox, we're playing Zombie. Was it Zombie Army Trip? Zombie 4, yeah. And there's one part when me, Carlton, we're walking through the camp because we're playing Freedom Fighters. We have to go kill Hitler because Hitler died in Zombie Army 3. Now Hitler's back for Zombie Army 4 from Back from Hell. Why not? But we see a zoo and Elliot's like,
it's a Jew zoo.
He's calling it the Jew zoo.
When this episode finally makes the light of day, people are going to be out for your head.
Actually, there were corpses in the zoo.
We're playing this game of like we're killing Nazi zombies, and he's talking like a Nazi for like 2 hours straight.
Because you literally some of the characters, but the characters you play are literally German, so they're talking like, "We need to get out of here," and I'm like, "Yes, we do. Terrible things have happened." Carlton goes down. He's like, "I need someone to pick me up on my face.
Yeah.
Don't get you right now."
Yeah, Elliot's having too much fun. Acting like a fucking Nazi.
Oh my god! So like that just increased my fucking headache though. Between Peter's fucking laughter, this motherfucker talking like a Nazi. That I'm just like, we're still like halfway into fucking Jojo Rabbit. I'm like, I'm done. I'm tapping out. I need to go upstairs. I need to go to bed.
You all heard it. I made Sue tap out.
Fuck off, Elliot.
Grade E tap out.
Grade E was better than Longhorn. At least I made her tap out.
Then Scarlett Johansson pops up. It's like what did you say about Scarlett Johansson?
Oh my god.
She's going to get the schnauzer.
I said she was hot, even as a German woman who put that stuff on her face, acting like a man. I still thought she was hot.
Yeah, no, like you were on bullshit. Like we
it fucking did not help the next morning as your mom's bringing me to work and I'm telling her about all of this. And when I'm telling her about this moron with the freaking Nazi voice, and she's laughing so freaking hard. And like the first words out of her mouth, "Oh, how is Elliot?" I'm like,
I'm fine.
I'm like, motherfucker sitting there doing a fucking Nazi voice talking about the Yuzu.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Teach you to use a Panzerschreck.
Yeah. It's like we see Scarlett Johansson come on screen and me, Elliot Jr. just drooling.
Yeah.
Like, Junior's like, for fuck's
Oh
sake.
yeah.
How any woman can look like that? Like, it's just.
That's my Black Widow.
Oh, God.
If I ever meet her in real life, she's getting kidnapped and kept in the basement.
Jesus. Shit went dark.
I'll go for the.
it's been said here tonight, if Scarlett Johansson goes missing, look for Al Big Slinging Dick Johnson.
Follow the trail of Mayo Chop.
Yep. And you will find Scarlett.
If I never in my basement covered in mayo chop.
Or is it Mayo Chop?
I would hope it's Mayo Chop.
I'm sorry, it just came out so bad. That's what happened.
It was crazy. There's a vivid picture in my mind of her in the basement covered in mayo chop. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this happened. How did we get here? This utter confusion.
Like, he didn't do nothing to me. He just covered me in mail chop.
Like he brought me down here, took my clothes off, and covered me in mayo chop. I don't know what he's getting out of this.
It could be
but I'm
worse.
uncomfortable.
Could have Mark at the door like, you want a picture of my
Just in my head,
penis?
I can't get the image out of my mind. Like,
No, Mark would just be sitting there eating the peanut butter and jelly out of a bowl.
No. See, I'm giving him too much credit. He would make a plan. It would take a couple of years. He would stand up to do it, throw his back out, and end up on the floor. Like, okay, we're gonna. Oh my God, my back!
Mark's gonna kill her for his room while he's in Albert.
how bad is this thing?
Oh, boy.
Fox
I
balls.
think it is the greatest thing in the world. Just take
Yeah,
a sip.
sure, foxhorn.
Remember,
Just imagine a large man squatting over your face,
As you-
hairy testicles slowly descending onto your lips.
As you sip it, just imagine Scarlett with the mayo chop on her.
no, think of Ganger.
The musk. The musk of 7 days unwashed balls.
Oh, hey, this feels different.
Like, what is this flavor?
That's the foxhorn.
Swamp
God.
balls.
That's one on the list.
Your ball slowly descending towards your face.
Fox balls
That's
too.
almost as bad as the episode where we talked about the
Oh,
candles that
God.
were scented as, what was it, Big Al
God.
Sweaty
I'm
Balls?
telling you, like, if we ever get this podcast, get some listeners,
You guys are trying to kill me.
I'm trademarking Big Al's balls.
I just want to take a picture with like one leg up on top of like a bucket. With my balls hanging down.
They gotta do the thumbs up too.
Like,
Looking at the camera like, eh.
listen,
The Captain Morgan pose.
Hell yeah.
listen, ladies, why do you go out and spend $85 on Gwyneth Paltrow's candles? Big Al's balls are $9.99.
Oh,
And we'll pay for the shipping.
for $9.99, you too can experience Big Al's ball.
Yeah, for a limited time only, we have big old black balls. One per household.
Like, there's a team of scientists standing by.
I love when my boss texts me to do work when I'm off the clock.
Ask him how much
Jesus.
he's been drinking.
That's when you take a screenshot of your middle finger and text it to him. Click, send. That's my answer.
No. I know when he's drinking because when he's drinking, he tells me how much he actually misses me,
Oh boy.
appreciates me, and loves me.
Oh, so he only. Oh, wow.
The alcohol.
Wow, he only appreciates you when he's drunk.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That's.
I've been there with women.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't suck his dick the way the assistant manager does, so
Jesus.
therefore,
Sue, it's not your fault.
It's not not your fault, sir.
It's not your fault. But I didn't hit record. It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
I didn't hit record. It's not your
Can you follow up to that? Where the hell is Junior? Sitting fucking putting a bit on his head.
Yeah, he's paying.
Junior hasn't asked me any questions in a while, so I think Junior and I are good.
He's been here. That's what he said. He was here for an hour. I'm tired, guys. I'm like, get your lazy fucking. So I have Tuesday and
That's
Saturday.
the sad part. I lasted longer than Junior did, and I was exhausted.
Yeah, and you're both out of shape. God.
Yeah. Then you still tapped out. What is this? Twilight Zone?
Yeah, what's like?
Yeah, I had Junior dying the other day talking about Mark being willed out of the house.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mark.
It's just, yeah, he is. I forgot. I don't even know how we get on a conversation about him sometime, but they just get me going.
Mark was texting me about World of Warcraft, and Mark just said his back was hurting again. So.
Oh, that's right.
And I was just saying, if you look at it from the outside in, Mark has got the perfect life where it's he's working from home. He can just go to Uber, whatever.com and.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah. He can have Walmart or Amazon bring him groceries and stuff. And he called him, he's like, well, I can't even do it.
Yeah, I was he's going to have the Uber guy deliver his food, and he's like, I'll pay you $10 if you feed it to me. So then the Uber guy is going to feed it to him. And then Mark's going to start crying. And the dude's like, yo, you're not paying me enough for this. So he's like, I'll pay you another $5 to listen to my woes.
Oh, God.
I was saying it's on Uber Eats. I was going to Uber Eats Taco Bell. You know what? For an extra $10, you better feed it to me.
Now I'm tempted to do that. I'm about to download Uber Eats. Here's an extra 20 for you. You feed me.
Oh, please. Put this mail chop on it first.
Look me in my eyes as you feed me. Directly to my eyes.
Look me directly in my eyes and slide it in slowly.
Tell me how much you love mayo chop.
Tell me, here comes the choo-choo train.
Make train sound.
There's just $5 for you.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time for that shit happens. Someone's gonna get really desperate for money. He goes home crying to his wife. What did you do today, honey?
I can't take this shit no more.
Oh, God. The Uber guy's gonna leave my house and quit. I can't do this shit no more.
He's in therapy now.
This is an overweight fat guy. This black guy named feed him.
There's so much mayo chop everywhere. It was terrible.
How should we fucking shirtless too?
He starts breaking down for the psychiatrist. What happens? He told me to make airplane sounds.
I can't stop seeing the mayo chop.
I wonder if people are actually wondering if Mark is real or not. We hear so much about him, but we've never heard him on the podcast or seen him. Is he real?
The fact that you just made Chris do a spit take was the greatest thing in the world.
And it's being recorded, so we have it on video.
It's
And the fact that he's now dying.
See, grade E. I made Sue tap out and Chris a spitter.
We all knew Chris was a spitter.
Yeah, but we didn't know you tap out so easily.
I take high offense to that. I swallow.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck.
Coming to a podcast near you.
Yeah. Is he real? Is he fake? They talk about him all the time.
That's why
People are probably thinking,
like an
there's
urban
no
legend.
way a person's life is this sad.
Yes, it is.
There's no
The urban legend of the man cat.
The man cat.
We didn't get a following. Like, you guys, listen, this is the kind of shit you get for free. Oh, you guys charge for this kind of shit. We're offering this shit for free. All one is like on Facebook.
Yo, when he eventually hears this podcast, he's just gonna pop up in your house in the middle of the night while you're asleep.
Next to you and beg to be pet.
Yeah. Now he'll lay on him. He's like, oh yeah, really that bad? Oh, get off of me! I can't my back.
He's gonna assault you with a wiffle bat.
He won't be able to lift the wiffle bat.
Fucking A.
Sue's the safest. She's upstairs. It's like my biggest enemy ever. Stairs, more than one. God damn, dude.
Chris is the most in freaking like.
I'm the instigator, so I'm fucked.
Not even the fact that you're the instigator, it's the fact that like you are in his cave now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are where he lived for many years.
I tell people, I've told Carlton this plenty of times, but like, sometimes people say what you want. They believe in spirits and goblins and ghouls. I sleep like a fucking baby because if anything came to haunt this house, I'm like, listen, ghost. I'm gonna call Mark back in here. That's just gonna run out screaming.
No, not the things he's done to that cat. Ghosts will get a priest to exorcise you.
I'm not scared.
The ghost goes, fuck that shit up.
Fuck that shit up, mouth.
It's like, Aldo's never like said when Mark first moved out of here. Carlton was joking. Like he moved in with his mom, and his mother didn't have an extra bedroom, so he had to sleep in her closet. Like Carlton's like Harry Potter, but without the bed. So he was telling me, he's like, yeah, the closet's too small. He's like, I can't put a bed in here. So he's like, I'm sleeping on the floor with a blanket and a pillow like an animal.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. I thought the best thing was what you and Brian told me about him with Pepsi.
What? There's so many Pepsi stories.
Oh, the thing where Brian gave him a Pepsi and he was just drinking capfuls of it because he's like, oh, this stuff is like gold. Oh my God. I can't even afford it right now. And he's just shooting it back like a freaking shot.
Throwing back shots of Pepsi out the cap.
So Brian gave him a second one and it's like, here, bud, to make it last. And I ran upstairs. He was laughing so freaking hard.
Marcus gift that keeps on giving.
Oh shit.
He's in kill us.
Yeah, probably me first.
It's going to be a dark, gloomy night. It's going to be a flash of lightning. He's going to appear over your bed and pull in a wiffle bat, just assault you.
That's played a very dangerous game there, Sue.
Chris is going to wake up to the sound of heavy breathing.
I'll stand at the top of the stairs. He can stand at the bottom of the stairs.
A foul odor in the air.
Just let me know before you do it. So if he kills me with a bomb,
I
can at least breathing in a foul odor.
It's like when those paranormal investigators smell rotten eggs. Like, oh, this must be haunted by a demonic entity. I smell eggs and sulfur. Mark's like, it's just me.
In the background, slowly staring at their drinks in their hands.
And then the sound that will wake Chris up is the can of Pepsi open.
God, it's so sad.
You hear that sound, Mr. Edwards?
Oh my God, who's there? You know why I'm here. What?
Jesus.
Did you get my 14 cheeseburgers?
So
you guys got to get him down here. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
No, you're not.
I'll have to say, he does have. I'm tempted to say, Mark, listen, you got Zoom in your computer.
Oh God!
We'll buy you dinner. Just one podcast.
He won't do it. He's probably asleep by now.
Oh, he definitely is. Yeah.
Mark's gonna turn to a real life cricket for our group.
Yeah, it's 10:30. He's
God. Wait till you see cricket, Elliot. Yeah. So we definitely. I seen this news story. I wish you was here for this, but fucking, he's missing out. But at some point, everybody has to go through their top 5 of there's certain ways I don't want to die. Yeah. I've accepted that. There's just certain ways. So there's certain things you don't think of. You just want to die, hopefully in your bed or in the hospital bed and stuff. And but this was some scary shit.
So every way of dying that's not slowly passing into the afterlife while you sleep peacefully is horrifying.
I'm going to throw you a situation. This is something that none of us on a daily basis go to work, wake up and think about dying this way. Which is kind of horrible. But yeah. So with the hurricane hit recently, like down Louisiana and stuff, and it was considered Hurricane Laura, like I guess like a perfect storm the way it came. But
it was 2 hurricanes that formed into one.
Yeah. So, but this comes from Independent. Parts of Louisiana hit hard by Hurricane Laura have been left fighting off hordes of mosquitoes so vast they are killing farm animals by biting them in huge numbers. The farmers are saying they're looking up in the sky. Could you imagine just leaving your house, looking outside? You look up, you see a cloud. Like that looks like, why is that cloud moving closer to me for? That ain't a cloud. Like these mosquitoes were slaughtering fucking farm animals. Like, okay, they have killed between 300 to 400 cattle and horses. Now, do people understand the size of a fucking horse? They weigh anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 pounds. They killed at least 400 cows. How big is a goddamn fucking cow? Because so many mosquitoes swarm these animals, they suck them dry. It's like Ellie and Alno's. It's like One Punch Man.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I was just thinking it. I was like the mosquito swarm in One Punch Man, sucking animals dry.
Is there like a mosquito woman hybrid? Like, yes, eat them all.
First off, okay, all of us here, Al's probably the biggest, but like we're anywhere from like 200 to 350 and shit, a cow or a fucking horse is 1,000 pounds or more. These mosquitoes would jump on a horse or cow and suck it dry. And could you imagine being a fucking farmer, locking your doors outside? All you hear is livestock being slaughtered to death by mosquitoes. Like,
damn, I wouldn't want to die like that. I want my boobs still intact.
It's like if a bear chases you or a wolf or something, you may have some chance of like getting away from it. How do you evade a cloud of fucking mosquitoes?
I think I got one worse than that for men to die: a banana spider.
What's that?
It's a spider that bites a guy, and they get a painful erection that never goes away, and they die hours later with it. Yeah. It was on 1,000 Ways to Die. Hilarious.
Yep. So
Jesus.
According to some doctor, it says the vet in the bill here. The vicious little suckers pushed out marshes of the huge storm have already claimed, cattle and horses. Some goats have been spared as they kept in stalls. Then they can be sprayed with insecticide. But one rancher lost 30 of his animals. Large-scale insecticide spraying efforts are underway to fight the hordes of blood-sucking insects. It says in Acadia County, local Louisiana Ag Center agent says the spraying has dropped the populations tremendously. It's made a night and day difference. But hurricanes often present a risk of surging mosquito populations as eggs laid by floodwater mosquitoes in previous floods start to hatch. While adult mosquitoes generally do not survive a hurricane's high winds, the egg hatching phase that kicks in after a storm can drive a huge increase in the population. So what I said, it's like if you're a freaking farm and you watch like 100 of your fucking livestock just be butchered by fucking massive swarms of mosquitoes. Like I said, if you're walking, besides running to shelter, there's literally nothing you can fucking do. So at least an animal you could maybe attempt to fight off, like even a bear poke it in the eye or something, snout it. How do you fight off 100,000 mosquitoes swarming onto you?
Flamethrower.
It's like, get
Jesus Christ.
Could you imagine like that's the way you died?
Honestly, that's a horrible way to go. Like it is. Like, because no matter what you do, imagine you lay on the ground and roll over and attempt to like squish them on you. As soon as you stand up, there's a fresh batch of mosquitoes on you. Like you can't even. Like, what do you do?
They said so many animals died. So many animals that died fucking from anemia because animals were trying to run away, and the animals tired themselves out, and they just fucking collapsed and died. Fucking just like they ran out of fucking blood, and whatever was left in their body, they literally ran away and they ran themselves to death. Because they're trying to get away from this massive cloud. Like, so you look up into the sky, you see a cloud of like 100,000, 200,000 mosquitoes swarming onto your livestock. Now, as a farmer, your best bet is lock the fucking doors. And what are you going to do? Pull out a shotgun? Good luck with that.
Start a couple of fires because the smoke will.
Yeah.
suffocate them.
If you see a fucking bear alligator charging at you, at least grab a gun, right? What are you gonna do if like you see this one mosquito start shooting at this shit?
Jesus.
You're gonna call Genos. Hey, buddy, we got a problem here.
Like Al said, the second I read this article, the first thing that popped in my head was One Punch Man. The second I read this shit,
like anime coming to real life near you.
Yeah. Like I said, that's just like, it's something like you would say if you walk outside and you're walking to work, you look up, if you see anything, whatever the case may be, you could like at least escape from this. How the fuck do you escape a swarm of like a million fucking mosquitoes jumping on you? There's nothing. Yeah, that's a horrible way to fucking go. I mean, they didn't kidnap, they didn't kill people, but people were inside their fucking homes and whatever. But like I said, to be a farmer and to listen to your horses, like I said, horses are 1,500-pound animals. They're murdering horses by sucking them dry. Like that's a horror movie right there.
No,
it saddens me because I love fucking horses.
No, see, I just have this funny thought of a little kid outside playing and just being lifted up and dragged away.
I'm telling you.
Mommy, no.
Honestly, that would happen though, because like these mosquitoes would swarm on any living animal, whether it's a grown man or a fucking kid.
No, I mean like lifting the kid up and taking them away.
Like good thing it didn't.
That's a terrifying way to go, bro. I don't want to be swarmed by anything, any insect.
It's one thing to be eaten by an animal, but just walking outside your house and see a swarm of a million fucking mosquitoes just sucking you to death, and you're like, you can't do a fucking thing about this. What do you do? Run? Say, pat them down. You're screwed. Like there's
One Punch Man for the win. They called it.
Yeah. So that's it too. There's just different ways. I don't want to die. That's not one of them. Like, how did Chris die death by mosquitoes?
That's the one thing I could say honestly about dying. I don't want to die in any way that allows me the time to think about my death. Like I don't want to be aware that I'm dying.
Looking at your arms, you're seeing like millions of mosquitoes every like.
I don't want to die in any way, especially if pain is involved. Imagine being slowly, painfully killed by anything. That's
especially because they're literally sucking you dry. Like they're sucking the blood out of your fucking body.
Like we've all literally been bitten by a mosquito. You know the shit hurts. You swat it away. Imagine fucking billions of them on you, and you're like this. Just every time you swat, as soon as you swat and pick your hand up, a fresh batch of mosquitoes lands on your arm. That's a horrible way to go. Like you can't even survive.
Your hands are covered in blood. It's your own blood.
Yeah.
You're just like Jesus Christ.
You swat a whole armful of mosquitoes. They're bleeding on you, and it's your blood.
You can only hit like one at a time, or like.
I mean, you may get 20 maybe if you're lucky, but yeah, like I said, if 100,000 jump on top of you, good luck with that.
You're dead.
I said, the fucking hurricanes, man. Like I was in 2020.
2020.
Mosquito
it could happen.
Death cloud coming to a town near you.
I gotta pee after this.
When I read the two hurricanes forming into one, I was like, yeah, sounds like 2020.
Yeah.
Now mosquito death clouds? Yes, sir. Right on the mark.
The perfect storm.
My Aunt Karen's the one who freaking like told me about it.
It was a perfect storm too.
Yeah, it's like a double freaking hurricane. It's like it's merging, and I'm like, I would hate to be the person or town that's in the middle of that fucking eye.
You have to be the first group of people to experience the merger of fucking hurricanes. Yes, it is.
Double the sucking, double the blowing, double the destruction.
Here's one. An Alabama man accused of feeding meth to a squirrel was arrested.
Wow, he was helping a squirrel live its best life.
Yeah. Who's to say that squirrel didn't need a little pick-me-up?
Yeah. All right, it says Mickey Polk, 35, was wanted for possession of an illegal firearm, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. An Alabama man who authorities said kept a meth-fueled attack squirrel in his apartment. Yeah, you can't make this shit up. Was arrested Thursday on multiple felony warrants unrelated to the squirrel. Narcotics investigators found Mickey Polk, 35, while they were conducting surveillance at a hotel in Caitlyn, according to the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. Polk was arrested after he fled on a stolen motorcycle and rammed an investigator's vehicle. LCSO narcotics investigators were conducting surveillance at America's Best Value Inn in Dillon, Alabama, where Polk left a stolen motorcycle. After a brief pursuit, Polk rammed an investigator's vehicle and was arrested. Polk was wanted for possession of an illegal firearm, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
He was winning.
And a squirrel high on methamphetamine.
And an attack squirrel that's high on meth.
Imagine, grabbing a squirrel and
Jesus Christ.
getting it high on meth.
Wait, what was that movie, Over the Hedge or something, where they fed that squirrel sugar and he went ape shit? That's all I can think of.
That's just sugar.
I know, but in real life, I know, but in real life, it might be just like that.
Oh, Christ.
It's kind of fucking, that's funny.
Oh,
I read, I'm like, what kind of sick fuck is feeding a squirrel meth?
That guy.
That guy.
Christ.
Just the fact that he kept the squirrel as an attack squirrel, that by itself blows my mind.
I can't be mad at that guy.
Award for dumbest shit done in 2020, I guess. I mean, that's up there.
Well, that we know of.
And that's the thing. You remember back in the days, there was that show of World's Dumbest Criminals or whatever. Yeah. People would do really stupid shit, and you would think to yourself, people can't be stupider than this. And then in 2020, we read high attack squirrels.
Attack squirrels, hordes of
monkeys stabbing people.
Monkeys with chainsaws.
Monkeys stealing babies.
Killer freaking hornets.
Yeah, murder hornets.
2020 is a hell of a year.
Double hurricane.
Sharks and beaches in New York, which is kind of awesome.
Real life fire tornadoes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you see that? Yeah. Oh,
it's like, yo, what the fuck is going on in 2020?
Yeah, Carlton, did you see the Los Angeles fire tornadoes?
No, I haven't seen that.
Look that up. You gotta check it out.
On top of all that, there is a pandemic.
Yeah, apparently
the pandemic isn't even on the top 10 part of what's the worst things that happen. COVID definitely isn't making top 25 right now, okay?
That's probably top 80.
Yes. Right now, California is under attack by the Fire Nation. All right, we need to we need to start.
Oh my God! Have you guys seen those freaking memes where it's like
so many of them.
They're making fun of the freaking fires, like how people do the freaking gender reveals?
Yeah.
And it's
my God!
Let's find out what you're having, and then it shows the freaking plane.
It's a wildfire.
It's a girl. And
I hope they sue those people. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But hey, what's yours? It's a wildfire and felonies. Yay!
I feel bad for all those people that die and all those people that got displaced, but shit is wild in California. Like it is.
Yeah, it's always wild in California.
No, it's getting bad in California.
It's
crazy.
Then.
No,
it's getting worse though.
Let's blow up the border and send them out to sea like Atlantis.
Well, I wonder why this is why Joe Rogan, which Joe just started his second podcast in his new studio. But why did Joe Rogan leave California for? Well, I wonder why.
Ben Shapiro's leaving.
A lot of people have.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Yeah, I saw that episode the other day.
Actually, this is what I've said too with us. If we ever do get popular and stuff and more people, even Joe, Joe posted Instagram because when me and Al were watching Joker, but Joe posted, for 9/11 and stuff, and he posted on 9/12. I'm like, yeah, of course, Joe posted this big, I'm gonna pull up a second, this big article about for 9/12 and everything that's going on, but, people being what they are, oh, fuck you, Joe, or you're a sellout, or your new studio sucks, and blah, blah, and a lot of people are pissed off at Joe for going to Spotify and everything, so it's damn, it sucks.
Why? You can still catch him. I think he got in trouble because of some Caitlyn Jenner statement, which makes me laugh. Guess I don't know. Have you guys heard about that?
No,
you can talk about it.
I forget. I'm not doing word for word because I don't remember. He's like, yeah, well, that would happen to me too if I was surrounded by crazy bitches. And then Caitlyn, and he called Caitlyn Jenner he, and Caitlyn Jenner was like, this guy has always been saying bad things about my family. And I'm like, So now a whole fresh new batch of people's like, yeah, get rid of your boycott Spotify. And Joe Rogan. I'm like, okay.
What bothers me about shit like that is you put your family in the public eye for so many years, and then you're mad because people have an opinion, no matter what the opinion is. You're not going to like everybody's opinion. You guys decided as a family unit, we're going to put our life on TV for everybody to speculate.
The older, the older ones.
I'll pull that up a second.
Well, the younger ones didn't shy away from it when they became of age.
But if that's pretty much all they've known over the past, how long has the fucking show been on?
They still have a choice, and the choice they made was to follow in their family's footsteps. So
every time you put yourself out there, you're going to get criticism.
Exactly. People are going to look at you.
That's true.
People are going to see you, and people are going to have judgments, whether you like it or not. That's what's going to happen.
I'm not denying that, but what I am going to say though is, where Kim, Courtney, and Chloe, the mom, the dad, all of that, the brother, whatever, where all of them are concerned, they put themselves out there as adults. They did that, and they brought the two younger ones along for the ride. And then, now that they're older, of course, they're going to continue doing it because they see how popular their sisters are.
And they've made billions of dollars off of it.
Yeah.
They've pretty much... And so, you can't really blame them for thinking, that's the right thing to do.
I don't blame them for thinking it. I blame them for following in the footsteps, because regardless of them thinking it, they still have the choice of saying, I don't want to do this or I want to do this, and they decided being popular is more important than privatizing your life. And once you I'm not mad that they did it. What I'm mad about is them acting surprised that people have opinions about their lifestyle. They put their entire life out for the public consumption.
Really shouldn't be surprised by shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at them deciding to make that decision. I'm just saying after that decision is made, acknowledge that you put your life out for the public, people are going to talk about it.
Especially with how long that freaking show's been on, and how many people have an opinion of Kim, of Courtney, of Chloe. They're going to have opinions of the younger girls as well.
And the thing is, the one thing that I have to commend them for is that for the longest while, they dealt with criticism in a good way. They, for the most part, either ignored it or the things that they did talk about, they handled it in a tactful way.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now, they're super thin-skinned and everything is offensive, which is stupid to me because your show's been on the air for 15 years. You can't, at this point, all of a sudden, now you're upset at everything somebody says.
Yeah.
That's not what this is about. I'm not mad that they put their laugh out there, but acknowledge once you do that, the world is going to have an opinion.
Exactly.
You're not going to like everything everybody says.
I mean, well, you have to. I still call him Bruce, but this is. The article says Caitlyn Jenner calls Joe Rogan a transphobic asshole over his joke that the Kardashians made her trans.
When did he make this joke?
Well, it's on his recent episode of his podcast. He made this years ago, of course, but he's recanting it with his current guest, who was an MMA fighter. But in an episode of Rogan's podcast on Friday, the comedian and podcast megastar recounted a joke he had previously made in a comedy routine. Actually, on a sidebar, I remember on Netflix, Joe's last Netflix special, he made this joke too, with saying he did this whole 10-minute spiel of Bruce Jenner's I can't be woman of the year, and the Kardashians Bruce, we can make you woman of the year, and it's a funny 10-minute skit, which he does that, which and Bruce is he's telling Kim, I can never be woman of the year, no, yes, with the media, all of us can make you woman of the year, Bruce, just listen to us, and it's a funny ass bit, I think.
But here's the thing: so many people were making freaking jokes like that.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. Why is he upset at Joe Rogan? Because the amount of people that has made jokes about him is I would need 30 hands to start counting. There's a lot of people that were making. Why is he?
I have some speculation as to that.
I guess the joke that Joe made was he said, I was maybe if you live with crazy bitches long enough, they fucking turn you into one. Maybe you go crazy, said Joe.
But they cut out some of the stuff where he was he was a major fan.
And I guess this is
an Olympian.
This is a new term for our podcast. This is called, according to this article, throughout the episode, Rogan continued to dead name. Because now, in other words, if you call Caitlyn Bruce is considered his dead name because now his name is Caitlyn. So that's the new term that they're using, his dead name.
So Caitlyn killed Bruce.
Yeah. So Rogan continued to dead name Jenner, referring to her by the name she previously had and misgender her, or she can tell the kind of person who wrote this article.
I still say the fact that the whole reason freaking Bruce went and became Caitlyn in the first place was because they wouldn't know how to charge him for killing that one person.
Exactly.
So
that's my thing, the manslaughter charges. And it's like, hey, congrats, Bruce is dead, here's Caitlyn.
Yeah. I love this article. It's like, in her interview with TMZ, Jenner said Rogan found fame by putting other people down and making jokes about it. Okay, he is a fucking comedian.
Dave Chappelle did the same thing.
Well
countless people have done it. Like, there are a long list of names that have done it. Like, why is he targeted?
So, as for Rogan's claim that a person being transgender could be linked to their home environment, Jenner said, "It's not even close. I've been gender dysphoric my entire life." He continued, "Being gender dysphoric, transitioning, all that, it's not a joke. It's very serious. And Joe Rogan has a lot to learn." Jenner said that she's incredibly happy in her life now after transitioning.
Then why?
Because you're not in prison.
Then why in an interview did Caitlyn say that she wanted to turn back into a man because she was so
Bruce saying that happy. Like Jenner also took issue with Rogan's characterization of the Kardashian women. They are intelligent, they're extremely hardworking, and that's how they made their businesses and their fame. They didn't do it by making jokes and putting other people down. In all fairness, no, one sucked a dick in a fucking hotel room, and that's how they get a reality show. So
I'm not doing that. I want money. I'm not doing that.
Then, of course, like this, Jenner said that she would, of course, be a guest in Joe Rogan's show. Of course, because it's like, I find this funny, like, whenever Joe is shit on somebody who is a trans person, or like even like when he crapped on video gamers and Twitch and stuff, some of the top video gamers said, "Oh, well, Joe has, but we would love to be on his show because he's got the #1 show in the fucking country." And all you guys say, "I hate Joe Rogan, but I want to be on his show." Yeah, you want to be on his show?
In the world. #1 show in the world.
He is. So it's like, well, I can't stand Joe, but I want to be on his show. Yeah, because you want exposure. Because unlike you, he's got fame and fortune that he's actually fucking worked for. I hate when scumbags like Bruce Jenner says, "Oh, well, Kim and Chloe and, freaking the third one there, Courtney, they worked hard." The fuck they did? The two of them didn't work hard for a dick because the oldest one fucking said was sucking fucking dick, and after she got the idea.
Well, that one worked hard for dick.
Yeah, she worked hard for that.
They worked hard. Fuck out of here.
The oldest one, Courtney, she actually did work hard. She was the one who she's the only one who actually did.
Yeah.
They all look the same to me, and they all just seem like a bunch of brainless.
Well, now it's like, now imbeciles. I'm happy. The only good thing about 2020 so far is that, hey, guess what? After 14 years and 20 seasons, there's shit reality shows coming to a close. Thank God. But like I said, I've seen two things. No matter what happens once this horrible reality show ends, the fact that for the past 15 years, the three of these fucking cons have been role models to young women, and the fact that they're all three of them are literally billionaires from a fucking reality show.
Oh, yeah.
This shows how much we all say fuck capitalism right now. But also, if you assholes think that once this show is done with, this isn't the last we're going to hear of them. There's no fucking way.
This is the beginning because they're going to branch out and open up all types of other ventures. This is just the beginning. Like, they're just tired.
This is Destiny Child breaking up.
Pretty much. Like, that's exactly what it is.
You'll hear about one of them. You'll hear about the other little bit.
Either they'll start a fucking YouTube channel, they'll start a fucking new app. They'll find some way.
They'll start all types of other ventures and make trillions of more dollars.
Yeah, because they work hard.
But didn't one of them start a challenge on YouTube which caused a lot of people to hurt themselves?
Probably. I don't know anything about it, but maybe.
One of them did one where they put a glass or something over their lip and it swelled their lips up or something, put it on YouTube, and all these kids did it, and I just started laughing when they started crying, "Oh, what's wrong with my face?" I'm like, why would you follow these trends?
That was probably the youngest one.
I don't know their name. Like I said, they all look the same to me, like a bunch of brainless imbeciles. They all look the same. You could put Caitlyn and his ex-wife and all of them together. I'm like, aren't they the same person?
That's like watching the freaking Saturday Night Live skit with it of them, and it's like it's Kanye sitting next to Kim, and it's like the Kardashians in the background.
Yeah,
and they're always like, okay, so that one's the mom. Then that one's no, wait, that one's Kendall. Nope, no, wait, that one's Kendall. And then it's like, he's sitting there and he's constantly like, we're going to play a little game today called What Did Kim Make? And then, like, he'll hold up something stupid, like a macaroni art, and he'll be like, how can you tell me this is not the most intelligent woman in the world?
Yeah.
And all this other
No, South Park did it best. He's like, let me tell you, Kim is not a hobbit, because hobbits live in holes in hills. Wait. Honey, bitch, you got big hairy feet. No, she does not have big hairy feet. My honey is beautiful. She's intelligent, and she is not a hobbit. Wait, now you're saying you a troll? I don't know what's going on. I'm like, my God. That's Hollywood right there.
I got
what is it about you?
What's it called?
No, I said the speculation on why everyone's going after Joe now is because he wanted to do a 4-hour debate between Trump and Biden. He's like, no, it's like we don't want no media, no nothing here, just Joe and just Trump and me, and I'm just gonna hit them both with hard questions.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what he wants. So, and first thing Trump was like, I'll do it. He tweeted, I'll do it. And now for the Democrats, they don't want Joe to say he doesn't want to do it. So they're attacking Joe Rogan. This is speculation, but they're attacking Joe Rogan to make him look bad. So then Joe Biden can say, well, I don't want to be associated with someone who's transphobic, someone who's racist and misogynistic. That's what they're saying. But it's like, you can kind of see it, but there's tons of people saying, let Joe do this debate. Let Joe Rogan do this debate.
I've seen the past 3 days.
Yeah. It's just speculation. Could it be true? There could be a grain of truth in there somewhere.
The only hole in that argument is that what's his name or what's her name or whatever gender she's going by is a Trump fan. That's a Trump supporter.
Yep.
So if she was under attack for being whatever, and that wouldn't benefit the Democrats by them saying they're separate, because she's, I guess, working against her or his, whatever. I don't know what gender is it going by.
Yeah, really.
Is it?
That's why I still call him Bruce.
A female.
Yeah. Wait.
Okay. You're confusing me with all this him, her, he, she stuff.
I personally still call him Bruce Jenner.
Yeah. No, but
the PC
name is call him Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Call him
he
her.
Was born
Shim.
a man.
Sure.
He was named Bruce Jenner. Yeah. He is going to die Bruce Jenner, of course.
Yeah. So this was Joe his Instagram post, but also on I think Facebook. But this was right after 9/11. He posted this on 9/12, and I did see a lot of people post something similar to this, which we didn't talk about this much because of 9/11. It's 19 fucking years, but a lot of people said, look, I missed 9/12, and this is very close to what we're talking about. But Joe just said that in an era where posting a hashtag is considered meaningful action, I have a request for all Americans. Spare me the bullshit. 9/11 changed my life in ways I can never imagine. It changed all of our lives. It changed the trajectory of this country. Take 5 minutes to craft a hashtag never forget post, because that is the quote-unquote thing to do today. And then returning to your life of divided, partisan, party line, argumentative, criticizing, shout down your fellow Americans attitude is meaningless. It's not only meaningless, it's bullshit. And it clearly shows that very clearly you have already forgotten. I've never seen or felt a greater connection to my fellow Americans than in the days after 9/11. We were caring, empathetic, and most importantly, united. People with different opinions are not your enemy, unless you choose to make them so. Is it worth losing friends and family in an attempt to be right? I'm embarrassed by what I see. I read, I hear. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Spoiler alert, the rights and freedoms of this country, which we are also incredibly fortunate to have, apply to all American citizens equally. Perhaps try to hashtag never forget that. Instead of making a witty post, instead of talking about it, be about it. Honor the people who died 19 years ago and all of those who have given their lives since by being a better person. Be a productive and meaningful member of our society. Not just today because you are reminded of the events of 19 years ago, but every single day. You'll be a better person for it. We will be a better country because of it. And that was his post.
You know what? There is zero fat on that post. There is nothing that could be taken out and make it work just as good. Like that shit.
But the internet,
I'm with it 100%.
But the internet app being what it is, of course.
Okay.
The biggest thing is that people call Joe a sellout because now he's got a Spotify deal. He's got a new studio in Texas. Well, he left LA because of all the shit going on. Why would you blame him for leaving LA? But I'm just reading, etc. Just 9/11 inside job, 9/11 this, 9/11 that. I just said personally, listen, I don't care whether 9/11 was inside job or if it wasn't inside job. The fact that 19 years ago, next year will be 20 years, and just look at how all five of us were around during 9/11, and man, how 20 years have basically shifted. Look at the country then versus now. It's fucking scary. Yeah. All the shit that's going on. How is it? We've never been more divided as a nation than right now. And you think 19 years later we would have learned some shit, and we have learned nothing.
We learned how to hate more.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've learned how to hide on the internet like a bunch of cowards.
Yep.
Yep.
My name is Too Long 472. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay.
My name is 24/7 365, and this is the real picture of me. This picture of Naruto that I posted. That's what I look like. And I'm going to say all this gangster shit because you don't know who I am and there's no repercussions.
And then they find out where they really live and they're on the, please, officer, you got to help me. These scary guys are outside. What did you do? I don't know. I'm innocent. We need a troll finder like on South Park. I think that would be very interesting. Come out, trolls.
Why did you do the Nazi voice on it?
Because Danish, it's German. Okay, before we offend German people out there, not all German voices are Nazis. Nazis were German, but
You
not
do
all
it. It's
German.
the Nazi voice.
I mean, if that's how you want to see me, how about we go to a little zoo, young Sue?
So
Take Sue to the Jews.
I want Sue to look at the back of this lovely cage I have.
it writes itself.
There are going to be people who get mad at this, and there are going to be some people like, that's fucking hilarious. I love that guy.
They're going to protest us. That's going to happen.
We're not the most hated people on the podcast either. Chris is.
Barney Jr.
See, my thing is, you have comedians who make fun of everything. Okay.
Yeah.
History is history. I make fun of everything that happens in history. Why? Because when you look back on it, it's all for stupid reasons. Guess what? Jojo Rabbit made fun of Nazis. You want to know how I take their power away? I make fucking fun of them.
Yeah.
You want to be a skinhead? Guess what? I'm not shaving my head because my hair's too precious. But I will make fun of the Nazis. Hi Hitler. Hi Hitler. Hi Hitler.
Now I'm going to go home tonight and work to perfect my Nazi accent.
the black Nazi.
Jesus. That'll be a movie to produce. The
we
Black
have
Nazi.
created the first Black Nazi.
If we had a Comedy Central,
Nazi.
if we had a Comedy Central like Chappelle show, imagine we did a skit with the black Nazi. That'd be fucking
I'd do it.
hilarious.
Jesus
I'm not even
Christ.
white.
Yo,
I
Al wearing Nazi outfit.
Yes. See me coming out with a little
the
stash.
thing
Like
is-
we've made him the Schwarze Nazi. What's that mean, sir? That means the Black Nazi.
The thing is, Dave Chappelle had a bona fide career before he did all his crazy shit on Comedy Central. I didn't. I won't.
Yeah.
So I probably won't survive the Black Nazi coming out. They'll be like, what is this guy doing? What's his name? Okay, we've got him.
Yeah.
You go to Twitter. Repeat his shreds. This fucking garbage piece of shit, fat son of a bitch.
You know what? Every time someone posts that shit, you just retweet them with a picture of your balls.
Yes.
That's what I think of your post.
Tag Al Johnson's balls to the world.
Yeah.
All right, Carl. I'm actually glad I'm saving a bunch for next time we do this, but I'll do one more because it's already almost 11 o'clock and we want to play some Zombie Army actually for I can pass out. But,
Yes, we do.
So I'm kind of happy and I'm also kind of pissed off at the same time about this, that Keanu Reeves, that bastard that he is, he's making and writing a comic book.
Yeah, Berserker,
yeah. And it's BRZKR. It's called Berserker. And
is it going to be linked to the anime Berserker, or is it going to be a brand new concept?
It's a brand new IP. So I'm kind of pissed off because of the fact that Keanu is making a story where the character looks just like him. And basically it's about this guy who is like an immortal who doesn't age, and he goes around killing people. So it's like his fucking autobiography.
Oh my God.
like, here's a picture of Berserker right there. So it's his character.
It's Keanu.
Yeah. So it's like it's a man who doesn't age and kills people and looks just like him.
So basically, he is writing the script for his next movie role.
Well, it's his own life, basically.
Yeah.
So it's a fucking autobiography, Keanu Reeves. So it's like he said that this character was born about 80,000 years ago. He's half man. His father's a word god. It's a little fantasy in reality. Wait, where's that reality, Keanu? Of like this character looks just like you. It hasn't aged in 80,000 years. Okay, like
it's Keanu.
I had this image in my head of a guy fighting through the ages because of his father's compulsion to violence, but with the pathos of a man trapped in trying to figure it out.
Here you go, Chris. You can pass this around.
Wow.
It's like 500 years old almost.
So
all the different versions of him.
Just bring it over. Too lazy to get up.
So he said the Berserker has battled through the ages in place of great war and conflict. Yet even though he's immortal in a way, he also has to hide himself. So he pretends to die and then he keep moving on. When readers first meet him, he's hiding in the USA and has struck a bargain with authorities. It's like, I'll go do some missions for you and you'll help me figure out who I am and how this has come to be and how maybe I could get released from this. And of course, there's ulterior motives. So, yeah. So it says, he's seen a lot, says Keanu, adding that the comic explores themes including the nature of violence, morals, ethics, and which side do you choose? So, but look at this picture here. So, the character.
Looks like John Wick.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on. So,
real life autobiography.
Yeah. We have hopefully some nice scenes where we're looking at hieroglyphics and he's like, no, you got that wrong, Reeves says. And there's things like, hey man, I wasn't everywhere, I'm just one guy. Part of the research that they're doing on him is trying to download all the knowledge that he has, which is true. It's like if a character was 80,000 years old, he's like, not like I wasn't at every place across the fucking planet. I wasn't where I was at the time. So it's like, yeah, I think it would be fun just to see him punch through someone's chest or pull out a rib or rip an arm off. The Berserker can heal to a certain extent. So it's fun to have these kinds of outrageous consequences and still have the character kind of moving forward. The guy drawing these fight scenes loves them too. So that it really gave me the sense that I was in a Hollywood movie set. Says who rewatches his Reeves' John Wick movie trilogy for research and inspiration. So, of course. And the second this comes out, I'm going to be buying every fucking issue this comes out. So there's no release yet, but he just.
What company is he doing it for?
Doesn't say yet. Of course, as a young kid, I was like, oh man, I love to play Wolverine. He goes, boom.
Well, I should be like Image of Dark Horse.
So is Reeves down to add Berserker to his pantheon alongside John Wick? He goes, I love to play Berserker. Of course you would.
Ooh, what if they do it through Archie Comics and then he makes a guest appearance?
No,
so right now he's working on it.
I get it.
That would be awesome.
I'd be involved. 100%.
Actually, I believe there is somebody who's doing it, and because they had a, I think it was a GoFundMe or something, people are blasting the project completely and want it canceled already.
Keanu's got the star power to make this come through.
They need to suck a dick.
I'm going to keep this down.
Good luck on that try.
It's
I think
trolls.
Well, the way he's going, I don't think he's going to go through Marvel or DC, but there's a lot of other small.
Like I said, it's probably going to be like Image or Dark Horse.
Yeah. So, but
let
hey,
me see if I can find it.
If it gains traction,
Isn't there one called Calypso or something?
There's a lot of them out there. So. But yeah, so I got a few more other articles, but I'll save it for next time because it's already it's been a good 2 hours and Zoom is still going. So
yeah, I mean, definitely would check it out, and that way we can bring out more people.
Yeah.
It'll be that way people will say like, "Oh, I can't make it." Like, well, we can just Zoom you.
Exactly. So
can the Zoom set up through multiple people through Zoom at the same time? Or?
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing it said was when I first prompted this today is that if you have more than 3 people, that the Zoom meeting only lasts 45 minutes. But because me and Carlton are one-on-one, we can just do this. The audio is infinite. The video sometimes times out. Like when it was with James here, after 2 hours, it would cut out and say like your meeting has stopped and just redo a new one. But so far, it's still going with Carlton just fine. But because I have this is actually
you could do it with him and Matt. No problem.
That's what I'm saying. But right now, this is the free version. If I actually paid for this, you could have more unlimited. But like this is just the free Zoom, so it's like. But the free version has up to 3 people in the Zoom meeting, and so.
Boom Studios.
Yeah, sir.
That's who's doing the comic, and people are
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'll buy it. Yeah. Second it comes out, I'm buying it.
I've been keeping an eye on it since it was announced.
I'll tell Elliot, Al, and Sue. The second comes out, stop at Earthworld or Zombie Planet. Buy issue 1. I guarantee if this does well, this will be a fun collector's item.
Yeah.
Like even people love or hate The Walking Dead. Right now, if you would go back in time, the first issue of Walking Dead is worth like $2,000 right now, if not higher. So because of the success of Walking Dead, the TV show. So,
I have the digital versions of Walking Dead all the way up to Negan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
First 21 volumes.
I did see people who bought 4 or 5 issues of Walking Dead #1. If they kept them mint condition, they're at least $2,000, if not higher. So
we actually got it. I'm not sure which issue it was, but we got an issue in about a year ago of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And of Happy.
Happy. Oh, what a show.
Yeah.
So
next time I saw her, like, what the fuck's up with this blue unicorn? And I'm like, don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Is that a good show?
I loved it.
I keep seeing the thing on Netflix.
I fall asleep every time we start watching it.
It is the most season 2. It's those guys did a lot of acid making this show. It is fucked up.
Is it like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, or is it?
It's like it's hard to describe. It's half comedy, half ultra violence because the shit he does.
It's like take a cop show and put it on meth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then adds a sprinkle of cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that adds into the meth.
You won't be disappointed, trust me.
I know.
I've been looking at that thing just bouncing through my my Netflix thing. I would be scrolling through and it would pop up and I'd be like, should I watch it?
By far the past couple years, the most batshit crazy show I've ever fucking seen.
Part of the reason I can't get into it is because the dumbass who decides he wants to watch it every time he wants to watch it is when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets pissed off because I don't want to watch it. Or I fall asleep while watching it.
We're watching Al Bundy till 2 o'clock in the morning. So.
Yeah, but you know what? That's Al Bundy. He's a legend. He's fucking amazing. He doesn't need a freaking blue unicorn that's gaining pubes to keep me interested.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There's a sex scene in season 2. It's off the wall. Yeah. Seeing the blue unicorn sex scene, I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna have to start watching this now.
I can't.
I am now ready to commit myself to this.
Yeah, if everybody here watch Happy one
season. Blue unicorn sex scene got me in. I'm sorry.
It's just fun. Yeah. I'm watching this you guys you must did a lot. Not even pot, just acid. There's nobody who wasn't doing acid right in this show. Right?
Laced their acid with meth.
Yeah, there's some shit. Season 1's pretty good. Season 2,
I don't even think they did acid. They had to have done shrooms or some shit with the shit they were thinking of. I mean, it's not a bad show.
Some PCP
but every time
on top of
I'm watching it is because of the fact that he'll come upstairs and be like, "Hey, let's watch Happy," and I'm like, "Okay," and then I fall asleep, and then he'll get pissed off because he's like, "Oh, you didn't finish watching Happy with me." I'm like, "Yeah, because I was tired, jacknut."
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll come up there let's start watching Lucifer. There's a lot of man ass in season 3 onward.
If Elliot comes up in the attic, I'm pushing him down the stairs.
That's perfectly fine.
The funniest fucking
after she had her way with him.
Yeah.
It always makes me laugh is when he showed up that one day at work with fucking assless chaps. I almost died. Yeah. I was like, who the fuck wrote this in? Because this was genius.
Yeah.
Fucking
he put fucking duct tape on his ass.
And he's all nonchalant. He's like, oh, I wore my assless chaps again.
Lucifer has no fucks given.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because he's the devil. Why wouldn't he? He has no problem doing pot and doing it's like the fact.
I mean, do you really think Satan would care?
That's why I like it for. That's why it's such a good show.
I don't know. You should watch that because there's levels of depth to that character. It's disturbing.
Yeah, we're gonna say goodbyes. I'm gonna pop in for these idiots. At least the first episode of Always Sunny, so we can just
all right.
But I do want to play some Zombie Army later. But no, this is a pretty good Zoom meeting. So
yeah,
I'll watch it later tonight after Zombie Army because I have Hulu and Netflix.
So. Yeah, but Spill, you're good. We killed a good fucking 2 hours. Huh?
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
You guys already know my spiel.
Spill me.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Sue.
Fuck, now I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
Help. Like,
No,
It was fun having Carlton here.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. We
really
should start
is.
doing that more.
Yes.
No way. I'm definitely going to be coming around more often because if we do it this way, that means I'm like, okay, now I'm going to be getting my stories lined up.
Yeah.
I'm going to
it's
be
cool that
working
Carlton's
on
here,
my.
but, like, even like if we had Matt or like,
plus, if Karen wants to hop on too, so
Yeah, I can always do that too. But let Al do his thing.
All right. Well, you know my spiel. You know, protect your neighborhood, protect your neighbors, donate to your community and the things that could actually help you out, like the police station, the fire departments, your hospital, your libraries, your schools. Take care of the people that take care of you. Protect your neighborhoods, protect your neighbors. And I'd also like to add, Carlton, I love you. So, Karen, I said hi.
Well, before I came on this, I want to let you know I had a nice, delicious homemade crepes with homemade applesauce and ice cream.
You're going too fast.
You know what I'm going to start doing? This is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to take pictures of my food because I can.
That's what I'm talking about. Now you're over the spot.
And I can share my pictures on here. So just
himself.
Yeah.
Ow, quit touching yourself.
I'll start reading the ingredients slowly.
Slowly stir until
and you slowly stir. You put it in the oven for 5 minutes.
South Park.
Heat it at 350.
Remember Randy kept jerking off in South Park?
No. Yeah, that's my spiel.
That's hilarious.
So we're gonna put Sue back onto the spot.
Yeah, if you have any donations at this time, if you shop or donate to the Goodwill, please don't.
To the Goodwill.
It's a quality employee.
Working hard.
There's reasons behind that. No, seriously.
So it's like, fuck your garbage. We don't want it.
Like, we can really use the help. But please keep in mind, we are still dealing with COVID. We are still dealing with a lot of things. Please make sure that you're bringing like quality stuff.
Keep your garbage and bring the good stuff.
Yeah.
Filthy animals.
If you only knew what the hell I've had to put up with for the past decade of my life.
Vibrators.
Yeah, actually.
Shit, I was joking.
Well, my thing is, I always do a quote that I find meaningful to me as my end of thing. So the quote I'm going to go with is like, when we hope, we usually hope for the wrong thing. We yearn for tomorrow and the progress that it presents. But yesterday was once tomorrow. And where was the progress in that? Or we yearn for yesterday, for what was, what might have been. But as we are yearning, the present is becoming the past. So the past is nothing but our yearning for a second chance.
That's pretty deep.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm about as deep as a puddle. I'm just going to throw out there. Everybody put it on your calendar. 9/19/20. Sue admitted I made her tap out.
Mm-hmm.
That is my
You heard it here first, guys.
It's been recorded.
It's recorded for posterity.
And then on 9/20/20, Elliot's body's found in an alley.
But grade E meat was better than Longhorn.
Elliot's body's found with several knife wounds.
I think he was attacked by a wild bear.
That man over 1,000 times.
Because I kept asking for more.
He's like, she stabbed him into a pudding. Well, cops had to clean him up with a bucket and a mop.
Out of the dirt in the backyard.
Cool with that.
I'll just say,
who pooped on it? Oh, that's the dog.
Whenever if Junior ever does come down here, I do want to get the Instagram going. I just want to kind of get all of us on Instagram together. So it's lazy ass over here. But
if we wait for Junior when it comes to everything,
that's true.
What's going on with our YouTube channel?
I have to get some money because, sitting down with Jim, it's like it takes. I got to pay him for teaching me his stuff, and you've seen Bill's the past few weeks. It's been hard. Well, it's funny. Like, this is what Al knows this, that working holiday plus my day off plus I stayed late. This is the biggest check I've ever legally seen, and it's just kind of funny out of like a $1,500 check. I got $100 for the week to myself, and I'm like, I'm happy. I'm also depressed as fuck. I'm like, I spent $20 in alcohol, and I got $80 for the week. Out of 50, like this was after deductions. This is how much money I grossed over the week, or overtime, staying late and sleeping 3 hours a night. Like, hey, I brought home $1,500, and I've got $80 to the week to myself. Like, fuck, I'm sad.
End it now, please.
No, I do want to do a mock interview with the iMac and the QuickTime, but like actually to upload to YouTube, it's going to take like the podcast. Once I learn it, it's going to be easy. I just have to learn it and sit down. Like, you know, it's going to take me at least 2 hours with Jim, and you know, he's a businessman.
I mean, I could do it. I have a YouTube channel of my own, so I could probably do it.
It's still like I want to have him, like, you know, well, once we upload a 10-minute clip and stuff to him to show us how to actually upload to YouTube, how to edit stuff, just like the podcast. Podcast, simple one, because now I know it. Well, YouTube, once we get the hang of it, it'll be simple for us, but I need to sit down with him. So, but yeah, the Instagram thing, if June doesn't come to next episode, we'll upload this when we're all sober and shit and, you know, relaxed.
When you're sober?
Yeah, pretty much. So, no, but like, yeah, so this is my spiel, as always. Much like Big Al, it's like, you know, we're doing this shit for free, and YouTube, whether we get 1 sub or fucking million, like, I just don't, you know, we're not doing this. This was just all 5 of us hanging out. You know, didn't expect to get paid for this. We didn't get paid for this. So, and COVID still, I'm seeing more reports with COVID and businesses, and people are still out of work and no stimulus check. And it just irks me still to this day. I keep seeing, you know, some people on YouTube just do it for fun, like how we're doing it. Other people are like, hey guys, check out my channel, but also sub to my channel, but also buy my merchandise, but also donate to me. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, get a job. It's like, we're not the 5 of us here are not doing that shit. We're not doing this podcast begging for something. So I keep saying I'm broke, but at least my bills are paid. And my bills are paid because I went out and earned it. And I didn't fucking sleep, and I worked long hours. Like, bills are paid. I'm not begging for people's money on the internet. So don't give us money. We don't need it. And I'm hoping that we can get more Carlton and Karen and other people to join us, and maybe Junior again too. So
maybe Jen will come again.
We will get the YouTube going once I get some more money put away. But like right now, got a lot of fucking bills. Like building this is basically our Blue Collar Losers studio. A new floor, a new window.
That's what you could do with the wall. Just put a stencil up there, Blue Collar Losers, right there on that wall.
It's like, it was kind of
not a bad idea. It's
like, this is kind of our studio. It cost me my life savings, but like at least it's built. And but there definitely is a feel for it. Like I was right there and seeing that. Like when I came home and the window was done, I'm like, I sat down in the chair and I'm like, you know, yeah, I'm fucking broke, but like, there's definitely like a feeling of like officialness,
accomplishment.
But because what all of us, you were here too, with the old floor and the old window and the old setup, where it's just like, this is almost like, that's why with the on my phone, Instagram, I've got all pictures of the old stuff, and now I get pictures of the new shit. And this we are on Instagram to be, hey guys, this was 5 months ago. Now this is 5 months later. So, but yeah. So we'll however it takes Elliot to walk home, we'll hop on Xbox for like a good hour till I pass out. Yeah, this was fun. So
this is definitely.
Oh yeah.
We'll go to Suzu.
That's it. Catch you guys next time.
All right.
See you later, man.
Right.